The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Hey, welcome back to Sunset City, a Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. Happy Pride Month. Over here, we have Channel Pup.
Hey.
Okay, that's all he's got. Next
What do you
to
want me
him,
to do?
we've
Do a
got-
little dance or something? Like, whoa, what do you want from me?
do a dance.
You usually do a dance all on your own, so
Dance on Nick's cheeseburger that's sitting in front of him on the table that
All
the
right.
audio-only listeners are definitely seeing.
Okay, I got you.
I can't eat no cheeseburgers right now.
Okay, right, we're done.
Great.
The man who can't eat cheese, Nicholas Apologist.
I actually don't know what I can or can't eat. I've been puking every single night.
That is not fun.
I'm going to a doctor in a couple weeks. I'll live that long, probably. It'll be fine.
When you're dying, relatable.
Anyway.
We're expecting a gorilla attack from Gilly at any point, so he'll be here. And then we've got Cirrus.
Hi,
I like
Wayne. How are you?
The sitting
I'm
position of pup
doing
makes for good booty popping. You realize you just took your avatar and like we were in a dance club together and just booty popped in front of me, right?
Hold on. Let me see.
Happy Pride, pup.
Wait. Okay, hang on, wait. Okay, you're right. Okay, that'll do it.
Remember, the delay is there, so we can't.
Yeah,
see
you'll
that
see it in a bit. Just keep an eye out.
Wow.
Jesus Christ!
All right, and I'm Wayne. Hi, this is the. I almost said this is Game Apologist. That's not what this is. God damn it! Sunset
Hello there.
podcast.
You want to know what's kind of embarrassing? I still sometimes when I'm opening the
Oh,
show, I
There it is.
try to say, yeah, there it is.
There it is.
I still try to say, "Welcome to the Supercast," which is a podcast I made that nobody listened to many years ago, and I still default to that sometimes. I have to stop myself.
The Supercast. What did you talk about?
Well, it was based off my comic, right? The comic that I had one issue of. So
Yeah, I
it
know
was
the
just about random dorky stuff. So basic, I mean, the superhero movie garbage. I mean, that it was started around the same time as the Marvel Cinematic Universe really
Wait,
started
you
kicking
would have
off.
been like 35 years old when you were writing that. A grown adult writing a comic about himself as a superhero?
I was doing that since middle school. Yeah,
You are
Yeah,
Linkara.
35 years old.
You are literally Linkara.
yeah. Most of us dorks made little comics about ourselves. That's where my avatar
When I was
came
like
from.
8 years old, and the superhero name? I've told you guys this, haven't I?
Yeah,
Okay, well then I won't say anymore.
I wrote comics as a kid, but I don't know that I ever had like a self-insert character per se.
Not even when
Because
you were like
your
12?
it's because your self-image was always terrible.
Damn. I have to drop a bomb on him like that, jeez.
You
Wayne,
know,
are you
actually,
okay?
might be onto something.
and as for
Oh,
me, I just put a cape on and replaced my first name with Super.
Wait, you too? I did the exact same thing as a kid.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
Super Chris as a
I-
fucking persona.
That's still
No,
somehow
you
so
put
much
your
better
first
than William,
name.
man.
I literally just put my last name and I replaced my first name with Super because like that's good enough.
Oh, okay.
my cousin and I tag teamed on a superhero creation. when
Your
we were
cousin and you
kids.
tag team. God, you gotta
Uh,
really rethink how you word things,
I
man.
really do need to rethink how I worded that. Well, we
Happy Pride Month.
collaborated on a on a superhero thing when we were kids, and we created this guy named Starborg, and he was like, it was Green Lantern, but neither of us were familiar with Green Lantern at the time, so we thought we were being really original. But he just had like a bunch of cyborg implants from like some kind of alien device that let him turn his limbs into things. So, like, swords and- so it was Green Lantern or Blue Beetle or what have you, and but we didn't know about that stuff when we were kids. And like his main nemesis was this guy that was like, I guess he was covered in bandages for some reason, and I forget why that happened, but like he used them as weapons, and we called him Bandijo.
Bandijo?
Bandijo.
You mean as in like the local Bandijo?
Sure. I don't know, man. Listen. We were
Could've had a
kids.
whole-
Just throwing all the
You coulda-
YouTubers under the bus today.
You could have had a whole joke in there where he's just like band DJ at some point.
Bit. Oh no, so that's for the new comic I'm working on. Or
Oh, okay.
no, that one is a literal monster of the week scenario, and one of the people that she has to that my main character has to take down is a DJ running a UFO nightclub that's causing too much noise, and his name is Squeejay because he's a pig.
Yours actually sounds kind of good.
It's gonna be great. I'll work on it eventually if I ever have the time.
I'll hand you a copy of Squee, the magic card, as inspiration. He's a little annoying goblin that just won't fucking die.
We should have an episode at some point where we're just going over comic book ideas.
Literally
Anyway.
pitch our own, like, IDW comic series or something.
Speaking of Avengers level
Call it
threats that could rival
Twilight
Bandijo,
series.
we have our own Hedgehog's arch rival. They're talking about the actress that might.
Oh, before
possibly...
that,
Yeah.
we wanted to do the patron mailbag.
Oh, that's
and we...
right. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
That you are. See, this is what happens when you have the
Patreon.
piss open.
This
Alright,
is what happens
I
when
like
you
that
give
you
us
guys are
money.
just to the end of the piss. Yeah.
Idiot.
All right.
I'm
For
sorry,
God's
Wayne.
sake.
All right.
You want to read the one from Jordo?
Who?
The
Why don't we first tell people what this is?
Yes.
So
If you
can
give us
help
money,
promote it.
we'll answer your questions.
sometimes.
So
Usually.
everybody, so something we gotta do better about, just for any new listeners here.
You've
Hi
done.
guys, we do this live on YouTube every Friday morning Pacific, 9 a.m. my time, 12 p.m. over on the East Coast, 5 p.m. over in the UK, or at least in Pup's time zone. I don't know how many time zones
The
you guys
UK
have over
only
there.
has one time zone.
Oh, fair enough. So yeah, if you want to join us live, you can join us live every Friday if you're listening to this later. Thank you for super chats. We do read those at the end of the show, but if you want to get some priority questions, you can join us over on Patreon, where we will kick off all of our episodes with the priority questions when we get them. And turns out we finally are starting to get them, so we're gonna jump into those right now.
I'm just trying to get is because we put out the post. We have to put out the post. They comment.
Yeah, we got to do better about just being
You've got to
professional.
do better. You've got to do.
This is, no, this actually isn't us thing.
The
I'm
three,
willing
the
to,
three
like,
of you have to do better. All right.
Oh my fucking God.
And you just got to do better about being entertaining. So
What?
evens out.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'll talk. I'll meet you in the parking lot, buddy. I'll
You
meet
guys
you
have met
behind.
No,
You
you'll meet
guys
me in the
have
parking lot at Target. Be like, that really hurt my feelings.
You guys have met in a lot of parking lots multiple times already, and you still haven't done anything.
Well, yeah, we generally just go into the Target and then get some cool stuff and then leave.
So, Pop. Okay, there we go. At the end there, I was just like, my God, like, do we not have any fucking? Okay, it was at the end there.
What?
All right, I'm so
What?
used to our super chats having the names at the front. So, okay, let's stop rambling. Let's just start jumping into these questions. Who wants to kick us off?
I'll go ahead and kick us off. There's one here from That Jordo. Said, is there a game or series that you like that nobody else talks about? For me, the biggest one is Infamous 2. Sony seems hellbent on never remastering or porting much of their PS3 games. So I guess it's just going to be doomed to rot on PS Plus's steaming purgatory.
I think you're just not in the right circles if you don't think the Infamous series is
I know a guy that
talked
loves
about.
you.
I've never heard anybody who's had issues with that series either.
Well, no, like I mean, like yeah, it's past its heyday in terms of like being a part of the conversation because they're not making new games. But I would say that I mean, in its heyday, yeah, everybody was talking about it. I'd still say like in PlayStation circles, like if you go listen to, I don't know, if Podcast Beyond's still a thing or Colin Moriarty's thing or like the podcasters I was literally talking about last weekend.
Mhm.
Though those would be the circles I would check out. Because I can't imagine they're done with Infamous forever, especially since Sucker Punch Studios is still one of the biggest money makers for Sony right now. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima was their first game past the Infamous series, I'm pretty sure.
I know. I know it's only been a year since we last heard from him, but Klonoa.
Yeah.
How has it
Yeah.
only been a year as well? It feels like literally like so much has happened between that game coming out and now.
I feel like discussion around him got so much more silent after Reverie series came out too. Like,
It's like everybody got placated.
We had one chance, guys. One chance, and we all blew it. I want us all to reflect on ourselves. How many copies did you guys buy? Come on. That's up.
How many Klonoa videos have you made?
I bought one.
I've made
I got one as a gift, and I have one on the PC, and I'm gonna definitely get the Xbox version at some point, and the PS4 version.
I turned into a Clonova's witness. Clohova? I don't know.
Clonova's witness.
I bought
Cloaca's
6
witness.
copies of that damn game. I spent way too much on that goddamn game. But
I think I might not be far behind because let's see, I bought it.
also,
on
Wayne, you were asking how many videos I've done on Clone. I think I've done 4.
Okay, I've done more than you.
Did you make an animated Christmas special for him? I don't think you did you?
Well, no, I didn't.
God,
do
this
that.
dick measuring contest is cringy.
Well,
It's
mine's
so
bigger,
weird.
right?
All right, so I think Klonoa is a pretty good bet, but I'd still say like the cult following behind Klonoa is strong enough that the conversation still is alive. I'm gonna say Endless Ocean.
Endless Ocean.
That the
Was
one
that
with
the Wii game?
You mean the Aquanauts holiday ripoff?
See, that's the problem, Wayne. That's my fucking problem with you as a human being. You piece of shit.
God, I'm glad
Because
I'm like.
Endless Ocean is a better game than the entire Aquanauts Holiday series.
I never
Because-
even.
I don't doubt it.
I never even
But-
played the fucking game, and just the tone of your voice, Wayne, made me want to just fucking donkey punch you.
No, but I have a deep love for ocean games, and every now and then I still think they pop out, and it makes me very happy. Where the main goal is just exploring it, and that's the point of Endless Ocean. And it's weirdly, I wouldn't say weirdly, but it's very, very addictive to me. Where the entire point is just kind of going around a map and exploring it and discovering critters, and that's it. That's the end of it. And for what it is, it's incredible. It's super, super good. And I adore it.
But can you kiss them?
I mean, you can rub
They
them.
should make. They should make like an
You
Endless
what?
Ocean game where literally you press the X button, you get a cutscene if you just sing the animal.
I think
Sure.
the game series for and it's a weird one because it's part of a popular franchise, but it's what doesn't get done with that franchise anymore. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh spin-off games. Like once upon a time, every Yu-Gi-Oh game that existed was not just a way to simulate the card game, but on a Game Boy or on a Switch or on PC. At one point, we got stuff like the tactics game Falsebound Kingdom, or another like literally a Final Fantasy Tactics-esque game in Duelist of the Roses, or we would get stuff like Capsule Monsters. Like we used to get a lot of really, really unique spin-off games that did more with a property filled with a bunch of iconic monsters than just, yeah, you can play them as trading cards. I kind of wish that stuff would come back. I kind of wish there was a reason for fans to get, clamoring for stuff like that, but unfortunately that side, like that fervor of that fandom seems to have died off enough to where none of that stuff would sell anymore. Makes me sad.
I do hear people bring up Duelist of Roses a lot.
I
I-
really.
I can't imagine that's gone for too long, though.
Actually, you'd be surprised by like those games that you just mentioned. A lot of people brought those up specifically in my digital card battle review. Like they
Huh.
brought that up in the comments.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. But you said you can't think those are gone for too long, Dick?
I
haven't-
just talk about. I don't know. I don't give a fuck about the spinoffs. I just like Yu-Gi-Oh in general. I guess.
I guess so,
Then
like
I guess we'll be like, Sonic Adventure's gone forever.
so it's just one of those things where like there's a style of Yu-Gi-Oh game that does here's the card game but digital, and that's like 99% of them. And then
Sure.
there's stuff where they do other things with the franchise, let you interact with them all. It's like the difference between playing a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game and a regular Pokemon game. Pokemon's not going anywhere, but when you don't get a Mystery Dungeon game for a while, that section of the fan base, they start to chatter their teeth a little bit.
No way. I would not have noticed that in the Sonic fan base whatsoever.
Yeah, I have no idea what that would be like in the Sonic fan base. Do we have any analogs for that in the Sonic fan base?
I'm gonna be honest. I think that's. I do think that's almost a separate conversation. I do know what you're getting at, but I'm curious for you specifically, sir. It's like a just a entire franchise game series, something that you feel is just like nobody talks about it like properly. Nobody genuinely talks about
Just
it. Like
a simple answer, sir. Just
I mean-
simple answer.
I mean, now I just don't want to give it to you because that. Thanks,
okay,
Bob.
then we're skipping you.
All
you
right,
piece of
well,
shit.
okay, on to the next question
I
then,
already
in that
get-
case.
I already gave mine.
Clearly,
I
he
think-
wants people to talk more about the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV.
So
No,
Stardust
I'm
Chaos
good.
asks,
Retrial of
hey yo,
Worlds.
since Sonic Labyrinth is now canon and Sonic is currently a drifter,
Hold on. Wayne, did you give an answer?
I did not.
Okay.
go on
Uh,
then, you fucking filler member.
This might sound strange, but Gravity Rush. I say that because people mention it. That's not the same as talking about it. Nobody talks about that series. They bring it up.
Yeah.
Nobody discusses it. There's a lot to talk about.
That's why I kind of was like, Infamous is doing okay because it was a PS3 series that made it to the PS4, and I don't think we're ever gonna see Gravity Rush again. Like they remastered, the first game. Like both of the games are on PS4, but like
Yeah. And if you've played Gravity Rush 2, like if you've played both of those games in full, you know that the developers had the sense they weren't getting another shot at this and they needed to go like all out for that second game.
I had a good time with the first one. I've not played the second one yet, and I really need to. I really,
second
really need to.
one's a fucking experience, man. That game's amazing.
I just realized there actually is one game I have that is not part of a different property thing. Spectrobes.
The what?
Spectrum's yeah.
It just occurred to me. Spectrobes is one. I fucking loved Spectrobes Origins, playing that in multiplayer mode, and that was like taking all the problems the DS games had, throwing them out the window, fixing that entire game franchise, and then they just did nothing ever again. It just hit me randomly. I'm like, oh right, there is that one series.
What would you count as a series? Like, how many games does it need to be before it's a series? Because there has to be some
3.
sort of discussion at
3.
some point to get a
I thi-
sequel out the door.
I think I'd take 3, including spin-offs. So like for Spectrobes, there's 3 of them. For Klonoa, we know there's 2 of the main ones, and then there's the volleyball game plus other stuff. Like GBA, the Wonder Swan. Like
What
there's
a great name for it, handheld. Wonder Swan.
but like we
Aw,
know,
the Imagine Chicken.
for
Think duck.
I can't really think of like, Spectrobes never got any spin-offs. It just got the 3 mainline games and then they just quit.
I mean, the era of the Pokemon clone is well and done, I think, at this point.
Oh, I love
But
it.
see, it's
That's
funny.
rivalry.
Like by the time you get to Origins, it is no longer a Pokemon clone. It's closer to a Kingdom Hearts game. It's weird.
I'm sorry, it's dead.
It has a Chow Garden, Nick.
Yeah, so does life. Go make a baby. stupid shit.
Don't encourage him.
I don't know if it would count Get to Roo Man, because it really was just like the PS2 game, and then they later ported it and called it Get to Roo Man Lives on the PSP.
Where's Vector Man?
We don't get Beautiful Joe games anymore, right?
No, we don't.
Where's Bomberman Act Zero?
Oh, now we're floodgating it because Okami is what I'm thinking of now. Oh
Yep.
God,
I mean, Okami already had like 3 games. They just released all 3 of them in one package.
for fuck's sake!
And then they made a
I'm
DS
sorry,
game
I
that
only
was
have one
significantly
joke
shorter.
surrounding that game. It's an amazing game.
It's a really good game. I've never beaten the sequel, and I'm just looking at it on my shelf. I really got to beat it sometime.
To be fair though, like people do talk about Okami a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like it does get brought up in conversations and in videos, and people still do retro reviews of it. It's just the series itself just kind of.
Yeah, there's a
Stop.
difference between like talking about it versus them actually making a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
was-
fair.
You
I
talking
would-
about this blue rat again?
No, not yet.
Surprisingly not. We're
Oh,
talking about a game
wow.
series that you love that nobody else talks about. Do
What?
you have any? Literally, that's it.
Just that's the topic.
No, right?
No,
they-
that's-
they were
It's a
going through
Patreon
the,
mailbag question.
So the question was, is there like a game or a series that like you like that no one ever...
If you say Sonic 2, pulling out your spine.
God, nobody remembers Sonic 2.
Remember Sonic 2?
Remember? Oh, I remember. That was fantastic.
Oh, I got one. The Trucker series, Sega's Trucker series. I keep thinking about how I'm answering this question is like, what do I want to make videos about, or what have I made videos about that nobody fucking watched? And the King of Route 66 is they're not fun. They're not really that fun to play, but man, the characterization is just it's so good. It's so much fun. So I'll throw that in there too.
I probably have something, but it's more of like, I think I have more games, like individually rather than like series.
Like Stretch Panic. We have to pull on tits.
Excuse me.
What was that one game you were playing at MagFest where I was like drunk off my ass?
And then you lost your fucking phone.
I did lose my
What
phone.
was I playing?
Are
Where
you
were
talking
we?
about? Are you
Sorry,
talking
that
about
was a question for Nick.
dancing? Yeah. You're talking about it's like dancing something. I needed to look it up.
Oh man, what about Haven Call of the King? Where's the sequel to that shit?
Oh,
What
I
is
should
that?
not. I want like arcade and then dancing. I was hoping it would like finish it out for me, but then I kind of forgot Dance Dance Revolution was an entire thing.
Oh
We're
yeah,
waiting on a new
it was the
Spyro
one.
game.
It was the one
Yeah.
with the ladies and the
Yeah,
fine,
it's
Activision.
called
I
dancing
don't remember what
something.
it was called.
It's
Dancing-
called dancing
Take your
something.
time with
Dancing
10
with the
more
Stars.
Crash games.
Dancing Queen.
No, it was a game. It was a grid game.
Flash.
You had to run around a 3D model. You know, like how you kind of do the squares and stuff like that. It's a very basic game. I don't know how you describe it, but like you have to be careful on the borders and shit like that. And then if you catch like an enemy in the border, it'll kill it and stuff like that. And then you can just
Oh.
undress people.
You know what kind of counts, but it doesn't. It like doesn't
Huh.
because it is popular, but it's niche.
What?
Monkey Island.
I guess yeah. Like we get discussions about Monkey Island whenever something new is in
Yeah,
the
but, like,
works, and then it dies.
That new game finally came out. It was awesome, and like there was some buzz just because like nobody like there hadn't been a new game in however long, and Ron Gilbert was back or whatever. But like
It
nobody,
dies off
I
within a week.
I don't know anybody else that played it besides the ones that I know are super into Monkey Island.
I can't imagine. I mean, like that's got to be like very specific circles, and I would even say like generational too.
Monkey.
And I can't imagine you jumping in front of those particular groups because I think most
Dude,
of those
I
dudes
think,
are older
honestly,
than me.
Honestly, I think like if kids played the new one, like especially on Switch, like you don't need to be old. Like it's a good game
No.
and it's like a fun adventure game. And it's a little more, it doesn't hold your hand, but it's more accessible than the old games are.
Yeah,
There was
I still had a good time with the one I played. So I'd imagine. I mean, it became popular for a reason. It's just a matter of people giving it a chance. But sorry, I interrupted you there, sirs.
I was gonna say it used to be part of a lot of conversations and then just kind of died off. Command and Conquer. Just nothing is done with that anymore, and I don't hear that many people talk about it anymore.
Is that the one with the Tim Curry line?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Spice. I mean, yeah. What was the last one released? Like 360 era?
There was a mobile game that was like supposed to be technically canon to the Kane storyline from the original series, and then like nothing else. I think the last one was actually released on 360, Kane's Wrath, like the last actual Command and Conquer game.
Man, I wish more people talked about the hit classic Battleship for the Xbox 360 based on the movie, based on the board game from Hasbro.
Wow.
That's a thing.
With that, shall we move on to the next question?
Let's. Well, I mean.
Also,
yeah,
Nick,
Monkey Island.
Nick, you're putting it in Patreon mailbag. You want to put that in?
Oh yeah. I'll
mailbag.
take care of that.
All right, no fuss.
Okay. Just be aware this one's not going to have a burger on it. So.
All right, are we cool with moving on to the next question?
Yeah, from Stardust Chaos.
Okay, yeah. So Stardust Chaos says, "Heyo, since Sonic Labyrinth is now canon and Sonic is currently a drifter, that leaves the very important detail of Sonic's house on the wayside. My question is, what do you think happened to a place? What do you think happened to a place that is more important than any space colonies or Green Hills?"
They forgot about it, like everything else that Sega does.
He moved.
He just walks away from it.
I just
Actually,
man, every now and then.
That begs a question. Wait, hold on. In the beginning of Sonic and the Secret Rings, is Sonic at his own house when he's sleeping on the couch?
Sir, I think what separates me from you and maybe some other people is the fact that you know what happens in the beginning of Sonic and the Secret Rings, and I don't.
I don't even hate
like
that game,
that
and yeah, I don't even know.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's implied that he's crashing at Tails' place.
Is it though?
After
There's
a
Not,
nice
not within
long
that,
night
not within
of,
that game, but I think
pulling
it's been
those tails
mentioned in
apart.
it's been mentioned in like something else that Tails was just like, oh yeah, you crash at my place all the time.
It was Tails Tube, wasn't it? He said like he crashes at his place and raids the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that tracks, considering that you crash his place in the middle of Sonic Adventure anyway. Hey Tails, I have an
Wait,
adventure to go on.
Sonic Labyrinth is canon now?
Yeah,
I mean, it's in the Origins
it not?
collection, and that game does seem to assert like what the early canon
Wow.
was.
What does it come to? Labyrinth is canon, Sonic's a grifter.
I mean,
I say a drifter, not a grifter.
I know, I just
Sonic just goes online like Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
we don't live in America. He's kilometers Morales.
kilometers. Tails kilometers per hour.
The idea that Sonic part-times as a grifter is just really funny to me as well.
He just has a commentary YouTube channel.
Holy shit. Oh no.
Or sorry, is it kilometers? Kilometers? I don't know.
Alright,
man.
what happened to Sonic's house? I mean, Eggman broke in, so that seems like a good reason to not live there anymore.
The same thing that happened to Grandpa in Klonoa. Fuck you.
Oh man.
Did you
Also
see the
explain what
death
happened to
battle
Uncle
video
Chuck.
somebody made of Joka versus Grandpa?
Yeah.
And like Grandpa starts rapping and Joka just blasts him.
Please tell me he raps in Phantomillion.
I think it was in English. There was a little,
Damn it.
yeah, but
It would be so funny if it was like... It just fucking rap beats.
it was really funny.
Are we happy?
Anyway, I imagine his house is abandoned. I don't know.
It's a little mud hut in Greece.
It got sucked into the marsh.
Well, the question was, what happened to his house?
It died. It caught the death.
It went boop.
It's probably just around. He saved the world more a couple times. I'm sure they built the fucker a house.
And then he just
Yeah,
promptly
yeah, but
never goes
you know
to
that
it.
was before Katrina and
Hey, Kuro's so idealistic, mate. Nothing in this world
Sonic
comes
has a
for free.
house
Come
in
on.
New Orleans. Let's go.
In Sonic OVA, did he have a house, or did he just have like a little fold out chair on a beach?
he had
can we just admit
plane
that he's a
crash
fucking
wreckage.
bum? He's a fucking bum.
No, you're right, because the USS Enterprise was like in the wreckage.
Yeah, he lived
Yeah.
in basically. He cleared out all the dead bodies first, and then
Oh,
he just got
sorry.
himself camp.
He's unhoused.
Oh,
No, he
boy.
definitely. I definitely got the impression from the
Fucking-
OVA that he lived in the wreckage.
Fucking Hobo the Hedgehog.
I just
Head hobo. He probably lives in some hedges.
He
I like-
does hog those hedges.
I like to think that he lives in like a parking lot of a Dairy Queen.
No, a
I mean,
Walmart.
I did literally have I drove you by the hotel I worked at while you were over here. Or the one I used to work at while I was over. You were over here, right, pup?
A couple of times.
There's a lot of homeless encampments around. So one dude actually burrowed out a little bit of a bush
You say
and set
burrowed?
up a little, or just cut
He-
out like he made a little
Made a
little
bar.
Like a
hidden-
like a
hidden
gopher?
hut, kind of.
He made
So-
himself a cave.
He made himself a little enclosure inside of a bush, and then managed to, I don't know if like any of like the power poles, it's not Dragon Ball Z, one of the light poles, like if you can just plug directly into it, but he somehow managed to get electricity from it, so he was just like using like his phone chargers and stuff like that while living in a bush.
That's kind of good,
So
actually.
like so let me
Yeah.
get this straight. So Sonic like spent a big majority of his life dedicating it to saving other people, and now he's homeless.
I mean, that is the way it goes, right? Like, So Sonic is a veteran.
Oh, goddamn.
Of all, I mean, I will
Alright,
bring it
that
up
took me a
later. But
second.
as often
That
as there's
started a
using,
little
like
closer
a
to home than I thought it
war-torn
would.
world, as often as there's using war-torn worlds for Sonic backdrops.
This
Why are
is
we
the
talking
man you're
about
letting down, Joe
problematic?
Biden. Affordable housing now.
I mean, the restoration in IDW, like, why aren't we seeing like the homeless situation of Sonic's world?
Yeah, how many cities have been like bodied at this point?
Don't worry, they're building shopping malls and shit underground.
Every time the Death Egg rises into the sky, they're just like, oh god, this is going to be an economic nightmare.
Yeah.
Eggman's real grift the entire time was to raise everybody's taxes a couple percentages with every attack.
He gets nothing out of it. Sorry, go on, Wayne.
I've been to the Atlanta airport, and it's like a city down there, and that's just kind of how I imagine Restoration HQ.
To be fair,
It's
the
Detroit,
Atlanta
Michigan.
airport's kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie.
I bet Mobius still
just
has the
Detroit.
dollar menu.
Because it still has money. Piece of shit.
So we've established that
And
no,
rings.
on Mobius they don't pay for things with rings, they pay for things with food stamps.
They don't have rings, apparently. The IDW book, we're gonna get into it. I got some stuff to talk about with some comments I got in my latest videos because I'm losing my fucking mind. But it's not here or there. Fuck it, we'll talk about it right now. I made a joke about how there's no rings in the IDW book, and apparently on the Bumblecast at some point, I have not confirmed this myself, but I got a lot of comments saying like apparently they're just a game element. So Chaos Emeralds are not. Power Cores are not. Fucking those stupid glowing orbs from Sonic Heroes, all of those are part of the lore of the IDW book. Rings aren't.
This is why the movie universe is the only one that.
I'd still say the old American one still counts because they made a big fucking deal about rings too.
No,
Pieces
the
of shit.
idea of rings just being a game currency token thing is the laziest, most fucking
It is.
I
bullshit.
don't go outside and there's just fucking dollars floating in the air.
Here's the
That's
thing.
fine. It's a blue cartoon goddamn hedgehog.
You know what else
And-
is a
and-
gameplay element? Running and jumping.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though,
I-
I get that these are gameplay mechanics first and foremost, but all of Sonic is a video game. What, you're gonna say that Green Hill is a game element? Please be a. But like,
Part of the fun is putting the lore behind it after the fact. It's ridiculous.
Rings are like, you can't go a couple of feet without seeing a ring. You see more of the rings in Green Hill Zone.
Well,
Getting fucking, but like, fucking rings are important. Use them.
I mean,
Like,
it's fucking ridiculous that rings aren't are a game element, but the emeralds aren't.
It's insane.
It's
The emeralds get to be.
What is
plot
more insane to
significant.
me? What is more insane to me now that I'm thinking about it? Because for fuck's sake, we had this in the game. They literally had a cutscene with Knuckles and Sonic looking at a question mark tally from Sonic Frontiers and asking what that was. They canonified the in-game map.
They canonified goal rings as well.
So is this like
I
a
do- I
Sega? Is this like a Sega mandate? Kind of
Dude, Lanolin's little bell is a fucking gameplay element.
I do think it's very funny that that we
It's a
can have
Sally
these,
element, too.
these arguments, and the entire Sonic fan base is still just cool with calling them emeralds.
Sonic doesn't actually
you know
go
what?
No,
fast,
they're
by the
not.
way.
It's
That's just
like
a,
literally.
Yeah,
you take, like,
I love
a
that in
diamond
Sonic
cut
X.
ruby and calling it a fucking emerald.
I love that in Sonic X. There's actually a scene addressing that where Chris is drawing one. His teacher goes up. What is that? Oh, it's an emerald, and it's just blood red, and he's just like, emeralds aren't that color. You know what?
They're
that
not
could
cut
be an
that way
emerald if you
either.
want it
They're
to
n-
be.
but I mean,
They're
this is
not
the,
cut
this is the
that
thing
way
though.
either.
If this is an IDW thing, it's just an IDW thing because Sonic Prime had ring in it, and
I
the thing is like, what's next? Like Sonic doesn't go fast even. That's just a gameplay mechanic.
That's just a
like, what
gameplay
is
element.
Yeah,
Tails is just a gameplay element. Like,
emeralds.exe. I'm thinking what you could at least do is like, hey, maybe like a large supply of rings were used up or disappeared, like Eggman was using them to power up a bunch of his machinery or something like that, and like they have to find a new way to like reincorporate them back in. But just saying, oh, they're a gameplay element is just kind of like, oh, we couldn't think of a natural way to incorporate this in, so we're just not going to bother.
Just draw them in the fucking background.
just
Yeah.
okay. Everyone, be real. Would you rather have rings are just a gameplay element, or they're made by special bees?
stop it.
The one or the other. You got to pick one.
Look, I'll do you one. I'll raise you, pup. They're made by bees, and the reason that we don't see rings in the IDW series is
Bees are a
the
gameplay
events of
element.
Sonic, during the events of Sonic Forces, Eggman wiped out all the bees.
I like my version better, but fair enough.
Did he never mention the rings once in Sonic Frontiers?
No, he mentioned a goalpost ring, but he hasn't mentioned like rings themselves.
I'm
in the game.
98% sure he's mentioned
They
rings. at some
had
stage.
to have mentioned rings in some of these cutscenes in some of the past games.
I
they
mean,
must
rings
have,
were
right?
rings
Oh
were
wait,
currency.
no! They
in
actually
Unleashed.
do. They actually do mention it once in Sonic Adventure 2 during the fight with the Bio Lizard. When you're low, Shadow actually goes, "Sonic, stop! I'll collect the rings. Switch with me."
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
and-
they call out needing rings for the super forms, but I think Nick was kind of hitting on like when's a recent time, like since Forces.
I mean,
and
this
IDW.
this wouldn't be too recent.
I
But
will
rings
still
are
take
clearly
that though.
rings are
Yeah.
clearly used as
Yeah,
a
but-
currency in like Casinopolis and Sonic Unleashed stores and stuff like that. Lost World, you got the casino, but admittedly, the casino dishes out coins. So
It's crazy that that's the element that's gameplay specific. Like not
That is, yeah, that is
not,
that's
not springs.
that is the most egregious one to me. Before the emeralds, rings. Like the most important fucking item in a Sonic universe are the rings. I don't care lore wise about the emeralds. I
Did
get
we?
it. I know they're significant.
You could
Rings.
if you could take any aesthetic, any plot of land, any drawing of any area ever, and if you put like 3 rings in the air in a row, people go, "Oh, Sonic."
Hey,
Yeah.
question: were there coins in the Mario movie?
I was just gonna
Yes.
ask that.
Yes.
There was a ton. They were literally used in the shops. And
Okay,
you saw them
okay.
actually
There-
jumping
there's
out
the
of
bit
blocks
where
and
the
everything.
dude drops one and Mario gives it back to him as well.
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot most of that movie, but yeah, I just had to like I was wondering because I was just like I don't know, did the Mario movie like attempt to canonize that?
Yeah, they
So,
did.
They
Yeah.
canonized just about every goddamn fucking thing from the games.
Yeah. That's not a dig at the movie. I
By the way,
legit just
before
have,
we
like,
get stuck
forgotten
in the
most of it.
weeds, though, we need to remember we do have one more patron.
We're
question.
actually talking about Sonic though, so you know, good for
I know,
us.
but we got to fulfill our obligations.
Yeah, it's fine. All right.
Are you
All right.
fulfilling the natural obligations?
Just
What part of this
Last
podcast
one.
is fulfilling?
All right.
last one.
Well, who wants to read this one? Because I read the last one.
I'll
Just
read
the
this
before.
one. I'll read this one. Hey guys, Merry Friday. My question for you all today is, what was your first ever games consoles? And if you can remember, what games did you have with it? For me personally, I got my first console in Christmas '93. It was a Sega Mega Drive. Wow. I was thinking of the Master System. I forget you guys call it Mega Drive with her. With a copy of Sonic 1 and Aladdin. Keep up the good work, boys. I always look forward to the show every week from Super Andy ACS. Thank you, dude.
Same here, more or less. Like my first games console was a Sega Mega Drive, and the first games that I ever played on it were Sonic 1 and 2. But the first game console of my very own was the Xbox 360, and I think my first.
Handhelds?
You
What?
can count handhelds, I guess.
Why not?
Okay, yeah, I guess mine was a Game Boy Color then.
Mine was
You're You're a
mine was an-
baby.
yeah, mine was an NES. I had definitely didn't get Kirby's Adventure first because that was a late era one, but I earliest memories are going to be Ninja Turtles 1, Mario 3, Ninja
Oh, yeah.
Turtles 2. Didn't own Jurassic Park. I rented that, so it's not it.
I'm
Snake
j-
Rattle and Roll. That game was fucking great too.
Imagining Nick on just Christmas morning in like 1978, just being like, "Oh, parents, thank you so much for getting me an NES. Oh, I'm so
Well,
grateful. I'm so
78,
grateful,
you mean-
parents."
You mean a fucking Atari 2600?
Well, that I mean, I was young enough. I was young
Magnavox
enough
Odyssey.
No, I was young enough. I don't know where the NES came from, so I don't know when my parents got that. The first system I remember getting for a Christmas present was a Model 2 Sega Genesis. Like I had Sonic 2 and I had Jurassic Park and Aladdin. Those were my first games for that machine. Eventually got Sonic 1, and then I've already told the story about Sonic and Knuckles and 3 and all that shit later. But yeah, those are my first games for a Sega system, and I didn't really. Oh, who am I kidding? I always wanted every system that was out. I always did. Didn't
Parents,
give a
can
shit
I
about
have
the
this
wars.
new
I wanted all
system,
of it.
please? One of these
Because
days,
everything looked cool.
I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna live in a room that's all green and have 68 copies of Godzilla 98.
I like that you're
That's a
being
low
generous.
ball.
I have far more than 68.
Sorry, 98 copies. Oh god, you should have
It-
98
it's-
copies. If you got any more than 98, get rid of them. 98
Well, no,
copies of Godzilla 98.
It's triple digits, easy, dude. Now.
Okay, well in
Oh,
that
I have
case,
another
you need
one
to
here
get
for you. I bought you a VHS of it when I was out.
I appreciate that.
you need to get 1,998 ones then.
I agree. I agree completely. Pup, holy shit, Pup, you figured it out. That's how
That's
I
the
defeat
goal?
That's how I defeat the Twitter nemesis. I need to get 1,998 copies of 1998 Godzilla.
But what do you do when he gets 1,999 copies? Then what next?
I think that's the pinnacle, man. I think at that point, if we both have that many copies of 1998 Godzilla, then we just need to take our two piles, shove them together, and say, "That's a lot of fish."
You want to go to
How many
war?
copies of 1998 Godzilla?
He is not your enemy.
No, we just push our giant piles of Godzilla together, and then we we Scrooge McDuck it.
You just push.
It wouldn't work that way. It forms together to create a mass. Like even if it was coins, if you try jumping in that shit, you're just gonna break your bones.
Was
Yeah,
Godzilla?
thank you. We know. We've
Godzilla
seen
98?
I've seen Family Guy before.
Curious, was Godzilla 98 one of the movies that got a port to the PlayStation Portal?
Sure did. I've got 3 copies of that one.
Fucking hell, I knew it.
Oh my god.
Did it get an HD DVD release though?
Yes, it did. I've got
Oh,
2
shit.
copies of that. Steelbook.
You know what's insane to me?
I'm sorry.
You know what's insane to me is
I'm
this
sorry.
stupid.
Hang on. Wayne, no, it did not. I apologize. I was just thinking of HD like Blu-ray. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
It did not. It
Nick,
did not.
you know,
And I can tell you why, because that's a Sony produced film. So absolutely no way in hell that was going to happen.
Nick,
know
you
what-
know what you should do?
Hmm.
You know how that video Bob Wolf did on like I think he put Morbius on a GBA like video.
I'll be honest. I've
But-
not taken a lot of his stuff in. So no, I've not.
So he put like the GBA like video cartridges,
Sure.
the ones that have like Nickelodeon cartoons and shit on them.
No, I see where you're going with.
Yeah,
and
there's-
I'm here
yeah.
for it.
He managed to port Morbius to the GBA, so you should do that with Godzilla and have a cartridge made.
You know what strikes me as just insane about this though is I think
Well,
about how stupid this is, how frivolous and silly this is, but then I
Yes.
think, my god, there are people in the world that bought NFTs, and that's still
Yeah.
more stupid than this.
I
And they've-
I love Bob Wolf doing this kind of shit because anybody who grew up watching the evolution of this technology has had these thoughts, and it's super fun. And I love that people are out there going, "Yeah, but what if? Why not?" Or like
I-
even demakes.
You know what,
I mean,
now
like
that-
we don't need a shittier version of BioShock, but like I saw like a PS1 era style BioShock, and I've never wanted anything
So-
more in my life.
So here's the fun thing. That wasn't PS1. That was the iOS port.
now that you mention it,
Because I know
wanna...
No,
exactly
no,
what you're
no.
talking about.
No, so I know what you're talking about too.
Oh, was there like an actual like PS1?
No.
remake?
Not like a legitimate one, but there's like a YouTuber out there who does those kind of projects as videos.
Yeah.
So it's not like a playable thing, but it looks.
I do. You know what? I'll need you to send me this. But I mean,
Yeah,
you know how
I'll
much I love
send
Bioshock,
you.
so
Oh yeah, no, I feel you, dude. You know what, Wayne? I do actually. I'm just gonna pitch this to the world right now. A gamecation I've always wanted to make was for BioShock because they are both based off very specific world fairs.
Mhm.
And What?
Nick, I do have to interrupt for 1 second. I was slightly wrong. I got them mixed up. He actually put Tenet on a GBA cartridge, and he put Morbius on a Game Boy Color cartridge.
bless his heart. So some more effort than IGN saying that this is what
Just-
Spider-Man PS4 looks like on a Game Boy Color.
Oh, I remember that. That was rubbish.
mail
So
it to
fucking
Nolan.
So fucking stupid.
Man, I want to watch the Snyder Cut on a GBA. I feel like that's the way the director intended it. You know, like,
It would be in 4x3.
it would be in 4x3.
All right, back rooms there, Wayne.
Shall we
Oh, thanks, sir.
move into one of our main topics?
I think we should.
Okay. So, first one's a little one. A little teeny one. So, the official Sonic thing, YouTube channel, had a live stream playing through a bit of Sonic Origins Plus, or just kind of having a little overview of it. And we saw in the menu screen, you know, you got those 3D models of the islands, which you can zoom in on. It was brilliant. They've got an Amy on the Sonic CD island now. So this, it's kind of, a little bit of a big deal in a way, because it's the first time in the post-Generations era that we've seen a classic Amy 3D model. And it makes me wonder if maybe we'll see a little 3D classic Knuckles on Angel Island or something as well. It would make me happy if we could see that. But yeah, there's not really any high-quality pictures of it, but it's in there. So the fact is, got a 3D classic Amy now.
I hope that bodes well for actually giving us a playable, like, giving us a lot of stuff to do with playable Amy in there. I would hope it does.
I'll be honest, like when you showed me that, I was like, oh, that's a pleasant surprise. I'm not surprised though, because we do know that Jakks Pacific basically just gets their models from Sega, from my understanding. And we've had a classic Amy toy for a long time. Like that blurry image, if I didn't know any better, I would assume that somebody had just put the Amy figure in there. Like they look identical. So what would excite me? What I would lose my mind about? I wonder if this would allude to, selfishly,
Put Sally.
Mecha Sonic.
It actually makes me wonder, though, in that case,
3D
like,
Sally.
yeah, if the models are provided to them by Sega, how come we haven't seen Mecha Sonic Mark 1 in one of these, you know? Pop him on one of the islands.
Why, fuck Mark 1. Fuck that. Give me Mark 2 already.
Or maybe do all of it, as opposed to just things you like, Mr. Champion of the past.
Yeah, but he's gotten so much stuff recently. Give it to the
Just
board.
give it to both.
Everyone knows. Everyone.
Yeah,
come
do
on.
both.
Talk Mecha Sonic.
Yeah,
We
but
talked about that one.
Mark 2's ugly.
You either bring back
Mark
all of it or
1
none of it.
is ugly. What are you talking
Mark
about?
2's ugly. He looks like a porcupine.
Hold on. I thought the Mark II looked fucking badass.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying too hard.
Can I?
I remember you saying that, and I agree. That's what my nostalgia's too.
It
closely
looks like
tied
it's
to it.
suffering
went,
from
"We
the
gotta make it look really
insomniac
cool."
over design curse.
Yeah.
Can I throw
This
out a
looks
hot,
really cool. This is a good, cool
Can I-
one.
Can I throw out a hot take?
No.
Yeah.
Metal Sonic is my least favorite Sonic robot because the man is just vanilla. If I see the others, it's special, you know. Like this guy.
He's the most perfect fucking robot design for Sonic ever.
I love the design to pieces, but I also I don't agree with Pup, but I do kind of get, like, I do want to see a little bit more. Like, now I want to see some stuff about Shard, because thanks, Nick, I care about that character now. Fuck you.
Shark.
Yeah,
Shard.
same.
It's just like, we have been eating really well with Metal Sonic recently. I would like to see some of the other stuff.
I would never be excited to
agree.
see Metal Sonic again unless they give him a rest, you know? And I don't mind the angle of he's Robotnik's surrogate son. Like, that's actually kind of a good way of keeping him in the fray. But it's like, given how commonly he appears these days, I just don't find him exciting, you know? Whereas if they brought back any of the Mecha Sonics, I'd be much more excited. It'd be like, oh wow. I know it's all part of the Sega streamlining thing, again. They just want one Sonic robot, and I just think that's a shame. You know, Dr. Robotnik is a man that makes all kinds of different robots for all kinds of different purposes, so why shouldn't there be more than one Sonic robot?
Well, because it's redundant. A thing I hear about the Freedom Fighters all the time, even though I literally have a marathon of Sonic robots, so fuck off. But I mean, like, you got to remember, like, when you edited that video, Pup, like, that was their ask of Ian Flynn back when he wrote that. I feel like they're loosening up a bit, simply because, like, I never expected Mark 1, Mark 2, any of them, and they both showed back up last year in some form or another.
That is true. Like, yeah, seeing Mecha Sonic again in Scrapnik Island was pretty exciting.
It was amazing, and you know, I dog on that design, but I mean, it's just the Mecha Godzilla idea, and now I'm looking at him on my shelf, and that is wonderful. And like I've said 1,000 times before, it does bring the buzzsaw haircut into some.
I like that it's actually a buzzsaw. I think that's a really cool design reinterpretation.
Yeah, I agree. I love it. But yeah, I'm really happy to see everybody loving on Shard because man, he's a great character.
I understand that like Metal Sonic has such a distinctive and iconic design. Like, it's rare that you can like, you know, this is Sonic but robot and make it arguably design-wise. So I do acknowledge that, but it's one of those things where it's like in the games or just something. It's like as soon as like, you know, they're like, okay, here's Sonic Colors, Rise of the Wisps, and Metal Sonic is back. As like, okay, Metal Sonic, cool. Whereas I feel like I want to be in the headspace that people were when they saw him in, like, Sonic Heroes, where it's like, whoa, Metal Sonic's back! Of course, I want to be in the pre-actually playing it, rather than post-playing it, because, my god, I feel so sorry for Metal Sonic fans when it comes to Sonic Heroes, but...
No, don't want to talk about it. Don't talk about it. I'm so mad. I was so mad at that game.
I can understand
Anyway.
that, like, because... When you bring back Metal Sonic, you don't want to fight a giant kaiju thing. Like, you want to fight Metal Sonic.
Yeah.
I think what they just need to do is like they need to give Eggman a more robust set of bots that can, like, if they're gonna reuse robots, like we got to do more than Metal. I mean, Metal's great, but like that's his only go-to. It's his only go-to. I can't think of
tell you
any
what,
other.
I'm going to completely contradict myself. In the post-Frontiers era, where we've got combat in Sonic games now, alright, maybe I'll be excited to see Metal Sonic for a boss fight, because that could be sick.
That would actually be a really fun fight. If you did it correctly.
Yeah, like, you chase him down, you body him, he bodies you gotta parry his attacks. He's as fast as you, so you gotta have great timing. Have some Killin' Quinn music playing. Like, fuck, that could be awesome.
I could go for that. I really could.
Well, I don't know. I think our go-to every time now in terms of like what they're using for the franchise, as dismissive as people are for the comics, everyone seems to look at the comics and expects them to be like, this is what's going on in the entire franchise right now. They look at that fucking book. And yeah, they don't have much to work with, do they? They really don't
It's
nowadays.
interesting, though, because it doesn't truly reflect it, because, like, again, Sonic Prime, you've got rings, you've got a more emotional Sonic than you tend to see in the comics and stuff, so... It does make me wonder if maybe Sega are stricter on IDW, because I think comic stuff are probably a little easier to push around than, like, TV companies and stuff.
Well, I just don't think... I don't think there's much going on in Prime, though.
Not,
I would-
like, yeah, not as
because
much as I'm
again-
probably making it sound, but, like, if rings are
No.
a gameplay element, well, Go didn't get that.
Just
I do kind of get it in the sense that, like, especially for the Sonic franchise, comic books have always been like a really important part, like, of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's always been very closely tied to everything. Whereas, like, you know, movies and spin-off shows and everything have more felt supplementary. The comics feel like a main core part of the franchise at this point. They've been there since day one.
Yeah. I mean they're a very important element of Sonic, but I do think it's telling when like the current run right now, how everyone's yelling at me about a sheep conversation that I didn't start. It was there a couple months ago, but I mean let's look at like Eggman has a city that's growing and expanding on its own, and he's in charge of this entire thing. He's got all the major power players on Sonic's side there wrecking his shit, and what does he have to fight with? Shadow androids and Metal Sonic mostly, and I guess the floating portals around there too. But like most of it's just like little badniks and stuff like that. Like we need what happened to his E series. Like do more of that shit.
I mean, I know that like it makes sense for him not to return to the E series specifically after realizing like, oh, wait, Omega? Is this what happened to all of them?
Guys,
Like-
backrooms. Posting a link.
Okay.
I could just get better at programming.
What is this?
It's a Bluetooth adapter for Saturn, so you can
Oh.
connect controllers.
Oh, that's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
That is cool. Why
Oh.
you'd want to change from that fucking amazing controllers beyond me, but you can do that. That's cool.
Don't they? I could be wrong. Do they? Maybe I'm wrong.
What?
I'm looking it up because I mean there also is you could use like the wireless 6-button. Oh yeah, I was right.
Just use a dongle on the 6-button
no,
one?
No, but look, Retrobit makes a Saturn wireless controller, so you could just use that and then have a wireless Saturn setup.
I've got one of their blue ones, and it came in this really sexy plastic case. It's really, really sexy. So I do thankfully have one. I'm waiting for them to do Dreamcast. Last year's TMG, I think they had a booth there, and they had like prototypes for a Dreamcast controller. So like, I need them to get that sorted.
I do like the 8-bit do M30 more than the Saturn controller though, because it's very similar to it.
Which one's that?
It's this one. It's really similar to it. It's just like more comfortable.
I'll take a look real quick.
It's kind of like
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's supposed to be like a 6-button Genesis, but it's basically Saturn.
Yeah. No, that's nice. Oh, I like that. I gotta calm down on my controllers though. I've gotten so many controllers.
That's my favorite like Sega controller though. I really like that.
Oh,
guys-
100%.
It's really good.
Have you guys
Yeah,
seen what I put in the back rooms just a second ago?
Yes. Oh no, I accidentally clicked on Opera. No.
So,
Stupid Opera GX.
do we have
I still like
anything?
little teeny tiny metal Sonic. I think is adorable.
Wait, what are we talking about? Are you saying you prefer the Generations one?
I just didn't make a big stink about it when he showed up. I just thought it was fucking cute.
For the
I
sake
don't
of
know.
context for the viewers, I just posted a picture of Sonic CD's Metal Sonic render and the render from Sonic Generations side by side with the caption, "When you completely misunderstood the assignment," because they look nothing alike.
Yeah, but you can take Generations classic Sonic versus the art from Sonic CD, and it's still.
I mean, I'd still say he's a lot closer than that. Like, the proportions are
Yeah, but-
completely different.
Look at Sonic. Look at Sonic, and then look at Sonic.
That's
They
true.
completely misunderstood the assignment.
Okay.
He's this little
Smart
pudgy.
ass.
That's not what he. Sonic was never a little pudgy bitch.
It's always been a pudgy. But I remember I was playing through. I was playing through a classic Sonic game recently. I was like, he's so fucking fat. I can't remember. I think it was Munich I was playing that.
They made him look like a fucking snowman in Genesis Generations.
I mean, the problem you've got there is, like, which one do you adapt, Japanese or American? And I think they just ended up on this little hybrid. Because the American one is a fat fuck. The American one's morbidly obese.
I absolutely hate the current like classic Sonic design. I don't like it. I think it looks stupid.
I think he's fine. I just think
I
that's
think
what
he's
he's...
too. I think he's
classic
too.
Sonic design and like Forces and Generations.
He's like too cute. There's no cool.
Well,
he has no.
that's not a model issue as far as I'm concerned. That's just
I
how
think
they're
there's a
using it
model
issue.
I think there's a big model
I
issue.
think there's a big model issue too.
You
I think
reckon?
he looks too.
if you're gonna have that Metal Sonic be a complaint, then yes, I think it's very fair to put it towards classic Sonic as well.
Yeah, like Pup, what you just showed is exactly the same thing as Sonic.
I don't know though, because the proportions are literally completely off.
They are completely off when you compare actual classic
No,
Sonic
they're
with.
fucking not. I can prove
Yes, they
it.
are.
Yes, they are. God, we played the same game. They're the same size in that boss fight. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Metal Sonic has always been lankier than regular Sonic. Giving him a huge fucking bulbous ass head is completely changing proportions, whereas the difference is between classic Sonic in the game and classic Sonic in the fucking box art is like marginal. The proportions are still the fucking same, is what I'm saying.
I've seen fans make 3D model renders of essentially the Sonic CD look, like, or in the OVA, stuff like that, and that is so much closer to what I would expect out of like a classic Sonic 3D model.
I mean, listen, I prefer that style of classic Sonic, but like looking at like the Japanese artwork compared with the Generations render, they're the exact fucking same. They are exactly the same.
He looks. And that honestly, those generation models kind of feel like the beginning of the downfall for me when it comes to like 3D models for Sonic characters.
It's the beginning of the end for you, Wayne.
They
I don't
call
know.
him
I
Santiago
think-
for a reason.
I think you can still safely say that like the classic Sonic model is still a more accurate depiction than the Metal Sonic.
I would say that the two games with the two different art styles have matching proportions with the two characters facing off against each other.
I just think Metal Sonic looks
fucking
stupid in
baby.
his fucking modern classic form. God, modern. Really?
even though it's totally different, I think the design from the shorts that they've been putting out is more accurate to classic Sonic than
100%.
yeah.
Get the shorts, obviously. Yeah, the shorts are fucking.
No, but I mean the design is totally different, but it still somehow looks more like the old Sonic than classic Sonic.
It's because he has more emotions than just, oh hey, wow.
It's because he's animated. It's because it's not a stiff, boring plastic model.
The fucking classic Sonic in the
And it's
games.
made by people that know what the fuck they're doing.
Classic Sonic in the games, all he ever does is give a round of applause to his modern counterpart and stick a big thumbs up and be like, "Wow, you're so cool!" Like, he ain't like that. He'd be competing
What are
with
you
himself.
arguing?
You're
I'm not arguing with you guys. I'm agreeing with you guys on this one.
Why does it sound like? Okay, I'm done.
Don't worry about it.
Do you remember?
I'm just
Oh,
very
God.
passionate, I guess. I don't know.
Yo, look at guys.
I just realized Pup is just
Can
all
any-
of
can any
Sonic
of you-
Twitter on this
Can
show.
any of you fit into these?
That's not true. I'm not a misogynist. I don't think. I'm only ironically.
I don't
Do
think.
you do you guys remember when Epic Mickey was coming out?
Oh, I
And
remember seeing these as a
Epic Mickey's
child.
fucking garbage.
Epic
Oh.
Mickey should have been much better than what it was.
That is
I-
a fucking abortion of a video game.
Jesus, I think Epic Mickey is okay. I think
I
it's
think
a
it's okay.
decent game. I do
It's just-
lament
it's
what it
just-
was going
It's
to
just
be.
tasks. It's just doing chores.
Hi, run to the end of the level. That's your task.
Yeah,
What
but
is-
it was good.
what is happening?
There were
What
because
is
when there's fun obstacles to traverse, then it's different. But Epic Mickey, they
think
had all these like they underutilized every.
I'm
fucking
calling
idea they
upon
had.
the
I hate
audience
that
for
game.
help.
Single thing. I would still say, and I said this one time before, I think that the reason we have the Ink Machine game, Bendy and the Ink Machine, is because of the failed
Yeah,
ideas you could have had. Because the only reason anyone talked about Epic Mickey was the concept art. That is it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
I
it
like,
was
well, I
also
like the idea of the mechanic, and then it was used like shit.
well,
Yeah,
even
They
like
also
in the
talk
early
about that cult
interviews.
morality system.
Well, yeah,
What, Wayne?
in the early interviews, they were talking about some really intriguing stuff that was going to be like playing up how devious Mickey Mouse used to be in some of the original cartoons and stuff like that. And like, dude, like some of the concept art for that, where he looked grotesque. Like the more you just did like bad things as Mickey Mouse. I find that game fascinating because I think it's an okay platformer, but it just kind of stands as almost a memorial of an idea that never got to exist. And
It just doesn't. It
the
just
whole
doesn't
plot of the
feel.
game.
It just doesn't feel good to play. And most of the like platforming stuff isn't. Like most of the game is not even platforming. Most of the game is. It's not even a collectathon. A lot of it is just like talk to people and do these
There.
fucking medial tasks.
I did actually bring this up for a related reason, because I was gonna say, like, being able to bring up like that devious nature out of a character like Mickey Mouse, where people have just sort of
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, um, um, because like after a while, like people just got so used to the nice, kind little like yeah.
Oh, Minnie!
I think people forgot that he used to have a devious side and that he was kind of a bit of a little twerp back in the day, and that's kind of how I feel about Sonic, and that's what I would like to see out of him is like make an attempt to do something like that where you get to actually play around with there's a rebellious little side of Sonic where he thinks it's you get to play with his attitude a little bit more. I don't know.
My
Morality
favorite Mickey
system in a
Mouse
Sonic
moments-
game? Where have I heard this one before?
My
Oh, no, wait,
favorite
that's
Mickey
actually a
Mouse
bad idea.
moments are when he gets angry.
Yeah.
Right. I'm calling
Angry
upon
Mickey
the
Mouse
chat.
is my favorite thing. It's hilarious.
I'm calling upon the chat. Who fumbled the bag harder?
What?
God, and then they made a sequel, and it also sucked.
I didn't even play it. I started up and then the bad guy started singing. And he's just like, oh, I'm done.
It's bad. It's bad games for bad games. I'm so angry. I was so angry. I was so upset. It looked so goddamn cool, and it turned out to be a piece of shit.
Have you ever seen the Wii remote charging station that came out for that?
No.
I've looked
It was-
around for it. Yeah.
I saw one out in the wild, but it wasn't for sale and it didn't work, and I was so sad. It's huge. It's the giant ink blot, and it's got like I think it's got like a little Mickey Mouse on it, and it
Yeah.
like his when it's charging, the ink blot's like eyes
Okay,
light up
Pup,
green and shit, and it
Pup.
looks awesome.
Go on. Say
Pup.
what you want to say.
Yeah.
If
First
you're gonna
off,
do,
you're
first of
not.
all, if you're gonna do that, show off CD. Show off Sonic
Yeah,
CD
show
art.
off the consistent art, you idiot.
But fucking Metal Sonic
No,
was only
no,
in
not-
CD.
but no,
Metal
not-
Sonic was
no,
only
no,
in
no, no,
CD.
no,
He
no,
would have
no,
looked
no,
the
no,
same
no.
from game to game anyway. It's the Japanese art style.
No.
No, you're showing two models from one game, and then you're being disingenuous with the second one.
Sonic in the Japanese games retained the same design from game to game.
No. So pick a bunch of different. Okay, he's not even in the same pose in the top one, and you took 2 of the same pose in the bottom one.
Because
Take
it's
a
harder to. Funny enough, it's harder to find. You can see the proportions are completely different. It doesn't matter the pose. You can see
the proportions aren't.
different.
They're
No, your
constantly
argument's
slightly off model.
irrelevant.
It's
Your argument's completely irrelevant.
If you
Doesn't
cannot
matter.
bring up the relevant point,
Then why bother? You're just trying to win an argument because you're too afraid to face the fucking facts.
Yes, I'm afraid to face the truth that objectively design problem. Yes.
here you go.
Yeah,
can use
you
this
clearly don't
one.
understand at all if you can't tell the difference between one game from
You
another
can
game card.
use. You can use this one.
Look at those guys. Look at those boys. He's definitely got more length and definitely a smaller head comparison there. That's game 1, baby.
Why did we think a podcast about this hedgehog was a good idea?
because deep down we actually do fucking like this shit. And that
It
says a
does
lot
make
more
me
about
wonder.
us.
Speak for me. No, I'm
It
kidding.
does make me wonder, though, in like the more Model 1 style, what would that Metal Sonic have looked like? Would it have actually looked a little bit more like that smaller, chunkier one from Generations? Makes you think.
Sorry about that. Just got to call it a very inopportune time.
Oh, got you.
Oh yeah.
I
how
thought you were just
convenient.
deeply upset.
I fucking...
I kind of thought the same thing. Dude.
No,
Like,
it's
oh,
the
we got a
it's
little
the
right into
automated
circle.
fucking reference system on our fucking apartment we're getting. They keep moving the goalpost, so I had to send off
you
the
guys
same
are-
fucking PAX
Wonder what
document for a
that's like.
5th time.
So yeah. Show that people in the chat want to see what. Show them again. Show them with the.
All right,
with
what are
the-
we doing? What? Okay, can we get like a? Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. Do it. Do it the right way. Don't use your bad faith argument version.
I have to open up Paint again. All right.
God
Okay.
forbid.
Yeah,
I like. This is not the of all. First off, audio
I could.
podcast. Secondly, of all the people
I gotta
to be
draw
comparing it to, I can't imagine
And-
most of these folks. Most of these folks know what we're talking about. They know
And
these-
really, pup, you
are.
should use the first one that I posted because that's a closer.
I'm
that's a
using
closer
the
post,
first one. Yes.
because
yes.
that is a closer post to the Metal Sonic you posted.
I,
Fuck this.
I'm losing my goddamn mind.
I
I
think
just-
Generations classic Metal Sonic. First off, there was no conversation about a modern versus classic Metal Sonic before that game because it was just the same fucking model.
Yeah, it was. I
nobody
don't
noticed the
understand
other
why they
segment.
made a fucking classic model with a giant ass head.
I like
Because there
the-
was a classic Sonic and they thought it would be cute, and I think it's cute. I
I-
think it's adorable.
Why do they
might-
gotta fucking Muppet babies everything? Just
I might have to recheck it, but I remember the model for like Sonic Adventure for Metal Sonic looking pretty cool. Was that just in the DX port or was that in the original as well?
That's the original.
Isn't
So am I
it?
just am I
Are you,
getting
wait,
like a,
wait. Are you talking
am I-
about the playable one?
hold up? Am I
Not
just
the playable one. The
Okay.
playable one, I know that was a DX thing, but
am I just getting like a
um,
random render of classic Sonic to go alongside this then, or
No,
No,
if you're
the
gonna
one-
do the
the
same
one you
art
provided?
styles.
The one you provided, and do I just get any one of just the fucking
no
3D
take
model of him?
The rest of us are bored of this, and we don't agree
So
with
then
you.
why are you insisting I continue to do
take
this?
the
I
bottom
haven't
right.
said
Take the
shit.
bottom
we
right.
didn't.
Take the bottom right classic Sonic and replace it with the first fucking photo I posted.
I done that. All right, fucking okay. Right, hang on. Save this.
Think it's too baby. Everyone takes the stupid hedgehog too seriously. I still remember YouTube videos complaining about Sonic.
I was just
Mini
making a
Adventure.
joke
I know,
about how
people on my
Metal
team
Sonic had
are
a big
I
head.
don't know, dude. People on my Twitter are taking fucking Zelda too seriously too. So
Yeah.
I was
Metal
just
Sonic should not look cute. He can. It's fine. The original looks.
all right. So I've,
fine.
I've got it up on
Both
the
of them
screen.
exist.
Hang on, I've got it up on the
We
screen.
were complaining about one version of a character that has not existed since 2013. Calm down.
I mean, I was never saying it was a big
They've
deal.
been
I was
10
only
long
saying that I
years,
think
Nick.
they misunderstood the assignment when it came to Metal
I
Sonic's
think
design.
you misunderstood what they were doing.
I think you misunderstood your own assignment. Pup.
I understand what you were getting at, Pup. It's okay.
Thank you, Wayne.
I
Wayne,
don't
stop.
100% agree with you. I
Wayne,
still
Wayne, I'm looking at the fact that he's wrong right now.
I mean, I would still say the difference. Hold the fucking phone. I would still say the difference between that render.
Hey, Pup.
What is
while
the
we're
one?
at it-
He's got
Pup,
eyebrows now.
Pup, while we're at it, why don't you scale them properly?
What do you mean scale them properly?
He's
How
still
much?
using the wrong one. He still lied anyway, because that's a forced render.
It's the same fucking model. It's the same model.
They
He
still
literally-
did something differently.
Well, Pup, make the heads the same size, and then we can actually compare.
Want me to just
Because you only made them the same
I mean,
size.
if you guys are gonna compare, please don't use the back rooms. Please create a separate channel for that, because I don't want to see that the next time that I'm opening up that channel.
Oh God!
Coward.
Thank you. I think I'm very funny.
We have not gotten past the first
No, yeah.
topic.
Yeah, apparently I'm
Puff's
not. Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
because I'm not allowed to complain about Classic Metal Sonic's design.
No, you're not allowed to
You
make.
can
You're not
complain.
allowed.
I'm not allowed to criticize Classic Metal Sonic without criticizing Classic. I get it. It's
no,
fine.
I'm saying.
No, it's fine. It's
look
fine.
at
It's
both.
fine. You don't want me criticizing your thing. It's fine. It's okay.
It's like the Santiago thing existed for some reason. I don't know why.
The Santiago
Pup-
thing was always fucking stupid. That is just how Classic Sonic would look.
Pup is the
Just
only
go
fan
for it.
of Sonic Unleashed and the
No.
only hater of classic Metal Sonic.
All right. Okay. It's going in the back.
Okay, I
rooms.
hope
I've
they
scaled
do.
it. I've scaled it. They're the exact fucking
I
same.
hope they do. I hope they do Mecha Sonic Mark II and make them look like fucking chibi fucking Funko Pop.
I would still adore that. I would still adore it. What I want more than anything is just concept
didn't
art
scale
of
the
that
You know what?
design.
You know what? I've got the perfect way to end this fucking argument. No more Classic Sonic, just
They
modern
look.
Sonic. Leave
They
it at that.
look completely different, Pup.
Yeah, one's a 3D model, the other's
don't
a
even look like the
drawing.
same
That's why they look.
character.
They look like this. How can you say they look like they're not the same fucking character?
They look totally different.
They look literally. The only. Okay. Look,
completely
I'm gonna give you some things. I'm gonna give you some things. All right. I'm gonna give you some things. Okay. You
What are
listening?
you- what are you giving
listening?
them?
Are you listening?
Giving
I'm
them.
gonna give you some things. The blue. Okay. They've clearly gone for a different
One
blue.
looks like a fucking police composite sketch of the other.
I was gonna say this is gonna be really confusing for audio only listeners, but let's be real, this is never actually gonna be uploaded on an audio platform.
No one ever
No,
fucking
it
listens
will.
to
You're
this.
gonna listen to
Make
this on
money.
Spotify and iTunes.
Look, the last time we got stuff uploaded on
Why
an
am I
audio
even uploaded?
platform, I edited a
Fuck
whole
the-
bunch of stuff and sent
Fuck the
it to
fucking
Nick.
posted that for the audio. No one fucking cares. They look the exact. Like,
There are
all
a million
I was-
differences.
All right, listen. I wasn't complaining about the fact that fucking Metal Sonic and CD has oval eyes and fucking the new one has circle. I won't complain about that triple shit. I was complaining about the fact he's a giant ass
People in the chat
fucking
that are saying
head.
they look
The
same are
proportions,
fucking- You're all crazy.
the proportions
You all
on
do an eye doctor.
the proportions between the 3D one and the illustration are much more authentic than they are with the fucking metal one. And I think that's a fair thing to fucking say. One has a giant head, the other doesn't. The changes with the other ones fall down to one's an illustration, one is a model. Like, that's literally the difference.
All the people in the chat that are saying they
You're
look the same need to take a fucking art
Listen,
class.
he's like mildly photogenic, but a model might be stretching it.
Yeah.
Nick, am I wrong? Am I crazy?
Yeah.
About what?
That they look totally fucking different.
Yes, call upon the man
I
you know
see that-
agrees with you.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
because
calling upon the man that draws.
yeah. Eat shit, pup.
We all draw. Wayne draws. I draw. We all draw.
I draw.
You're drawing some bullshit right now
Oh my
and
god.
laying it on the table.
You can't win this.
For
It's
all to see.
unwinnable.
Nobody
Wait.
agrees with you.
We should
What do you mean
all-
nobody agrees with me? Look at the chat.
No, because the chat agrees with him, which is crazy. The chat is calling me.
Oh,
they're all
sorry.
saying
Yes.
I'm wrong.
Sorry, chat. The
Yeah.
the authorities on all things Sonic have spoken.
Yeah, and then I got
The Waku
Yeah,
Waku
yeah,
Sonic
but then-
Patrol car is
this,
here.
this fan base is ridiculous. They see Sonic with fucking blue arms, and they're like, "Ah! He's off model!"
This is the first time I've
Tickle
complained about something design-wise. I was even fine with Sonic Boom.
This is
It's
the
literally
most
the
energy we've
first
gotten out
time.
of Gilly on a topic in ages.
The first time I've complained about
'Cause
the
I'm being
design of
gaslit.
something in Sonic. Aside from, okay, Lost World's entire
Yeah,
thing.
everyone. I agree with everyone. Pup, nobody agrees with you. You have your own opinion. That's fine.
Nobody
Move
agrees
the
with me.
Fuck on.
Nobody agrees with me. Read the fucking chat, bro. Enough with the fucking hyperbole or shut the fuck up. All right. Anyways. So you want to
Fucking
move
baby,
on? Let's
calm
move
down,
on. All
goddamn.
right. Okay.
I don't. Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, this is going to become a very historic episode. All right.
I feel like we're already there.
I can't
Alright.
believe Channel Pup murdered everybody on Sunset City.
All right, now that we're all calm.
Wait,
you-
hold on. Okay, so somebody just said, wait. Wait. Yes,
Okay, we're
Gilly,
back here.
Wait, yes, Gilly, you are right, but the differences are too small to really give an F about. Here's the problem. A lot of people have had a problem with Generations fucking classic Sonic model, right? That is a thing. We know that's a thing. I didn't
We
just
know
make
it's a
that up.
thing.
So
No, you
clearly
didn't.
there is a difference between that one and CD. And by the way, you're saying it's too small to give a fuck about, but this conversation started because Pup was complaining about the two Metal
Look,
Sonics.
Because the
Look,
change is
just as
bigger.
different from
One's
each
got a
other.
giant head, the other hasn't. One's got a
Listen
fucking
here.
massive ass head and looks intimidating. The other is chibi. I don't
Look,
get what's so hard to grasp. It's a
So,
completely
boys,
different
doesn't-
tone.
It does not matter how small the changes are. It matters what Sega does with them.
Here's what's confusing about this entire debate. I don't think anybody is disagreeing with Pup in terms of like classic Metal Sonic and Generations looking distinctly different.
Like
right?
like, would you say that there's a more distinct difference between?
I thought
Hold on, sorry, Wayne. I'm so sorry. Would you say that there is a more distinct difference? Well, like with classic Sonic in the illustration and classic Sonic in the model, it's like Coke and Diet Coke. Whereas
Oh
just
my God.
shut the fuck up,
No.
Gilly. Just shut your
Wait,
goddamn,
no.
shut your
No,
goddamn
no,
motherfucking
we're not
mouth
doing
for
this.
just
We're
one
not
goddamn
doing this.
second.
We're not
Let me
doing this.
fucking
We're not-
finish a goddamn second. Whereas fucking Metal Sonic is like Cherry Coke and Cherry Pepsi. You understand what I'm saying? There's more of a difference between Cherry Coke and Cherry Pepsi than there is between Coke and Diet Coke. Because they're still ultimately the same drink with a slight variation. I wouldn't say that it's not recognizable as Metal Sonic. I would say that it is still a completely different flavor. If you get me. If you get me. You guys realize that booting me out of the call means that they can only hear me, right?
Yeah,
which means
together.
that as far as they're concerned, I'm free from your bullshit.
What is
right?
going on with your
Pup,
mic?
the second you bring up Coke or cookie dough ice cream, I'm done.
Maybe you should stop being a little baby bitch and accept that these differences are more marginal than you thought.
We could be talking
No.
about Aubrey Plaza right now when we're
They-
talking about this.
They are no more marginal than the Metal Sonic one.
Okay, let's just boil it down to its basics.
It-
Would you agree?
And if everybody in the chat thinks that they look the same, then they should probably
Look,
feel the same about the Metal
enough
Sonic one.
with saying. Okay, let's not say classic Sonic and the classic Sonic render are the same. Would you or would you not agree that the classic Sonic model is a little closer to the classic Sonic art than
No.
the Metal Sonic model
No,
is?
I don't. No, I don't.
You're
think so. I think
fucking
they did pretty
insane,
much
bro.
the
You're
same.
literally
I think-
fucking
I think
insane.
they- I
You
think
are
they pretty much did
literally
the same thing.
delusional. You are insane if you cannot
know.
see that there is a bigger difference between Metal Sonic and his
Metal.
render than there is with the classic. You
I
are
don't want-
insane. You are
The only
insane.
difference is his legs are slightly longer. I think that's like it.
I don't want Sonic to be alive anymore.
Bro, you are insane. You are insane.
Okay.
I think it looks closer to the art from Sonic 1, and I think that's what they were pulling from.
Would you say in general that it's still closer?
No!
What do you mean no? It's still in general closer to the Japanese fucking art.
I don't care anymore.
Okay, we've
man.
learned that Nick and Gilly both have dementia. Let's move on to the next. So, the next topic is there are rumors, and the source for this is fucking garbage. Aubrey Plaza will be replacing Jim Carrey in the lead antagonist role for the Sonic 3 movie.
I gotta go.
Farewell, Gilly. What an impression
Are you
you've made.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Well,
Where,
you
what's
did
the
literally
source?
say there's no good source for this.
Yeah, the
Okay.
source
What is
the
it?
source is Giant Freaking Robot, and Giant Freaking Robot have a reputation for being shit. So
So what we could assume is that Parks and Rec decided that in order to make room for for like another little play area, we got to destroy the moon.
you got Ben Schwartz, you got the moon now has
I
appeared.
think. I think they should replace him with Bobcat Goldthwait.
With what? Gesundheit?
And
What?
Nick's the only one laughing, and I'm
Yeah.
so happy.
If I'm just gonna say this, if we get Aubrey,
Hang on. What baby movies have they seen? He's voiced some stuff.
I mean, he
What-
was Pain in Hercules.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh. Not to the act. The voice. I just. It's like
It's funny
is
because
your reaction.
he always gets mistaken for Gilbert Gottfried, and they sound nothing alike.
They
They
sound
sound
like
nothing alike.
What?
They sound nothing alike. What the
I
fuck?
know, but
Alright.
for some reason
They
people
both
always
do silly
confuse them.
voices. It's because they both do. They're known for one insane,
They're very
intense voice.
Yeah, because Gilbert's like,
Different types of
they
silly."
sound like this, and then Bob gets like,
I think they're I got these shoes.
I'm just gonna
For
say
God's sake, Bob.
if for some dumb reason
Look, some of us like to
this
entertain.
actually
okay?
turns out to be true, which it's definitely not. But in the world in which it's true, let's just get the Iron Legion from Archie, and she'll just lead the Iron Legion. There we go. Problem
So
solved.
my
Nobody
thing,
gets upset.
my thing with like if it would work or not. I think Aubrey Plaza is really funny, but a different kind of funny, and the humor comes from a different place that usually needs to be springboarded off of, a higher level of energy. And Sonic's already kind of got like this slow, sarcastic style of humor, kind of like in contrast with the speed of his movement. His comebacks are usually somewhat dry, if that makes any sense, or at least that's the way it comes off to me. Versus like Aubrey Plaza in Scott Pilgrim, or in like I guess again Parks and Rec. She's very monotone, and I feel like everything I'm trying to say is just kind of falling apart as I'm saying it. Do you guys kind of know what I mean here?
I just don't see it. I just don't fucking see it on any level.
I think they should get
she's known
Chris
for
Pratt.
one thing.
I think
That'd be kind of adorable to get Chris Pratt as Mario as Sonic's enemy.
what I would
I
say
mean,
is
you could get Chris Pratt and Aubrey, they've worked together in the past, so
it is
Right.
hard to justify more Sonic movies if you don't have Dr. Robotnik. Dr. Robotnik is a constant, and here's the thing: is like all conversation about like whatever, like gender swapping or whatever aside, like Dr. Robotnik is still Sonic's arch nemesis. And, like, getting anyone, be it Gerald Robotnik or a guy or someone who's more Robotnik adjacent to fill in those shoes, you're not going to change the fact that the first two movies had Dr. Ivo Robotnik, Sonic's arch nemesis, and future ones won't.
well, Aubrey Plaza can be Maria, and then
And then
No.
she can shoot herself. I don't know. Like, and I'm saying that in regards to Maria, by the way. I think Aubrey Plaza is a great comedic actress, so it's one of those things where, like, okay, Aubrey Plaza is better
yeah, but
than
it's
other
like
options.
being comedic isn't the thing that makes. I don't want to see Sebastian Maniscalco as fucking Robotnik. It's not,
Right, yeah. But like
it's-
the point I'm kind of basically just making is, if you don't intend on recasting Jim Carrey as Robotnik and he's not coming back as Robotnik, it's probably time to call time.
Well, he's got to be it would have to be another. It would have to be another strong like comedic character actor.
But
Like
even then,
kind of like how I don't think that's
I
a
still-
good casting, but how they replaced Robin Williams with Will Smith.
No, I understand that, but like,
Like-
either way, they've already like confirmed that they won't recast Jim Carrey if he doesn't come back. So it wouldn't be Dr. Ivo Robotnik that they would be putting a new actor in.
I still and we've talked about this in earlier episodes, but I still heavily disagree that you absolutely need Robotnik. There's plenty of Sonic stories that don't have him and work fine.
I think like you could say the same about like Mario needs
Yeah, we just do the
Bowser,
Deadly
or
Six.
Link needs Ganondorf. It's just like
do
and
the
both
Deadly
of those
I hate
franchises
you.
have God damn it. Both of those franchises have shown that you can still do a really great antagonist that works in their own right. That can even rival like the presence of the main rival.
I'm gonna be
feel like
honest,
the only
Lord
reason-
Blex always had more presence than Bowser to me.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
what I mean. Though, is I'm just like you can do it. It's just the Sonic series never has the balls to go out and do something other than Eggman because it's scared that it can't do it without him.
Outside of the comics.
Yeah,
Somebody's saying Danny DeVito. You know what's funny is that every time one of these things comes up in any IP, everyone's always like, Danny DeVito. You got to get Danny DeVito.
Be it Wario or Robotnik, yeah.
It's always Danny DeVito.
They've been doing it since the 90s too, yeah. Sweet baby boy that he is.
I mean, I'm
Who?
not
Danny DeVito,
saying,
who was in Hercules with Bobcat Goldthwait.
I'm not saying that.
Oh my god.
I just want to die.
That like Sonic 3,
Then
for
do it.
example, can't justify itself. I just think, let's say like Sonic 3 comes out, there's no Robotnik in it. That's fine. You've got Shadow. You can kind of carry that and stuff. But I think if you had the series be like an ongoing thing and they wanted to do more, but there's no Robotnik, they'd struggle to justify it because I think, as well as that, Robotnik is quite a big draw to these movies anyways. Like, for like the general audience and stuff, there's a lot of people that look at it as like, oh, the new Jim Carrey movie, basically. Let's go see it effectively. And that's even going to be a thing, even if you still had Robotnik and didn't get rid... sorry. That would be a problem if you still had Robotnik but got rid of Jim Carrey. Like, let's say you did like a reboot or something.
Adam Sandler Robotnik.
I mean, I, for one, would say I don't think Sonic as a series functions the way, like, Batman does, where, like, you can have different villains from story. I think Robotnik is very much like, it's more like the Roadrunner and the Coyote, as far as I'm concerned.
Coyote?
I mean,
Guys,
look at
I know
Sonic
who-
history. It's a guy with a contraption trying to defeat a fast animal. Like,
Coyote.
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 that's how it's pronounced over here.
Coyote.
I need a second opinion.
This is
Coyote.
The
This is not-
Roadrunner
this
and
is
the-
not-
and the-
here.
and the
We're
Coyote.
not-
Okay,
we're not
Supreme
doing this
Overlord
thing.
Nick
The
needs
Coyote
another...
Camry.
Actually, you could get a second
Fucking
opinion.
Caddy.
Guys, you could get a second opinion. My roommate is here. Dom, come over. Come over. Come over. Come over.
We're not doing this.
It's the...
The Toyota Camry.
This is not gonna.
Okay, so he's saying Coyote. All right, well, it seems I'm wrong on this one.
Pop, I fucking hate you.
This is not gonna be like the fucking when we were in Boston and Caddy is just like. By the way, it's Regenerador. We're not.
I know
I'm
who
not
to
fucking doing that again.
I know who to replace Jim Carrey with as Robotnik.
Oh.
Doug Walker.
He's bald enough.
I
for
love
the
that
role.
everyone's like making fun of the pronunciation, but none of them are just spelling the word "koi." Like none of them.
All right, so sorry. I see it more as the Roadrunner and the Coyote. Okay.
I see
I-
what you mean.
There's
I
the
get what you mean.
Roadrunner and the long dog.
I can kind of. So I think I disagree with you, Pup, but I think I know why. I'm not a fan of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
I
And
mean, I'm not
whereas,
even
like-
just. I'm not even looking at it from
Whereas,
just that
Whereas,
angle.
like the adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog dynamic between the two of them is very much like that.
Oh
it's
yeah, like
adorable.
it was basically Looney Tunes on speed, but like
Yeah, and I
Um,
think that's why I'm just like my brain immediately goes to no, the relationship's not like that. But when I think of Sonic, I think of like Set AM. I think of the Archie comics. I think of Sonic Adventure 2. Those are my early experiences, not counting the Genesis games. Whereas you've got Adventures as yours.
I mean,
I'm
take
like,
into
oh, okay, that
account
makes
though.
sense.
Take into account, Adventures did not shape my view of what Sonic. Basically, like I grew up on the classics, so the classics very much informed my kind of opinions on what Sonic is in a way that isn't
Right,
gimpy
but it wasn't
like the old man
Adventures
to
the
the right of
first
me.
like
No,
the first show you watched of his.
no, it wasn't. Sonic X was.
Really?
Yes. But yeah, to me, whenever I play through those classic games, I was like, okay, so I'm running very fast, and this man has built a ridiculous contraption to stop me, basically. It's Roadrunner and Coyote stuff, and I thought, given that it goes from game to game, it's always Dr. Robotnik is the main villain. I was like, this is that dynamic. I don't think I ever caught a read on Sonic in quite the way some other people do. I think there's a lot of people that see Sonic as more of a comic book kind of thing, which makes sense because a lot of people grew up on the comics. I didn't. But, like, I think a lot of people, like, when they have, like, discussions about, like, Sonic's moralities, what different villains could come along, have probably grown up with things like Archie and stuff, where you had, like, an array of different villains, and, like, Robotnik was not always the main villain.
Yeah,
and
like if
stuff.
Robotnik wasn't there, we had like Ixis Nagas and shit to do.
Yeah,
with.
No,
yeah, but
I
then-
honestly,
Yeah. All right,
I
hang on,
think
hang
even
on, hang on. Nobody gives a fuck about those other characters though. Like Zero, none of them.
That's
nada.
something
Like,
I was
no
gonna
matter-
add, is, like, whenever the classics didn't have Robotnik, they shat themselves when it came to the villains. It's like, oh, yeah, Tails' Adventure, he's got his own arch nemesis. Who is it? It's a witch
Yeah.
that rides around in a cart.
Well, those are all like
Well-
rushed, tiny. Like what I still think, like even in the games, they could do well to try and branch out from Robotnik from time
I think
to
they
time.
did with Frontiers. I don't think it
But
worked.
that's the thing is
but-
Robotnik was present in
that
Frontiers, but he wasn't very present. So I think that's almost like a way of saying people like the dynamic between Sonic and Eggman. Like it's a driving force for this franchise.
Yeah, let me. You've talked enough. So, like, the thing you guys keep talking about with like all these different versions of Robotnik is like they're all super, super different characters, but that relationship is a priority, and they always work. Like Sad AM, Adventure, or even the more modern games, even though people don't like some of those scripts and everything, or any of those guys. Like those are all different Robotniks or Eggmans or anything, but the dynamic between him and Sonic is super important, and it always works really well. And I would say like that's the strongest force of any of those canons is the relationship and the animosity between those two characters. So I'm Pup, I agree with you in terms of like if they want this to keep a long running series, I don't see how they do it without Eggman being a central part of that. And I've said it like before the first movie ever came out. I thought casting Jim Carrey was a mistake because even if you like him as a actor, I still think he's too Jim Carrey for the role. But he, Ben Schwartz and him are still pros and they work great off each other. Fact of the matter is, like, he was always going to bail one way or the other, and I think it could work without him, but only temporarily. I think eventually you have to be like, okay, where's Eggman? Where the fuck is he? And
You've got to take into account that these movies are made for such a general crowd that they're too sick and shit to even use game music. And that's the thing is, general audiences would start asking, "Where's Robotnik? Where's Jim Carrey?" If you had more than one movie without him. And I know lots of people are bringing up like different Sonic villains and different Sonic stories, like Sonic and the Black Knight. Good story, yeah, sure. But who outside of the Sonic fan base cares about any of that? Like, the thing is,
they haven't been given a reason to care yet.
Sure,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is,
just because it hasn't been done well before, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired of Robotnik. I'm tired of Eggman. Nothing new has been done with him, and the dynamic between him and Sonic has gotten stale.
they made him a father in the latest game.
Yeah,
That's
I don't give a
different.
shit
That's
about him
new.
as a villain, though. In fact, if anything, that makes me question how they're gonna make him work in the future.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think
kind
they're
of.
setting him up to be a really badass villain next game.
That's what I
really think
like
that's what
about
they're
it, though. I like questioning where he's going to go next. It makes him more
I-
unpredictable. That's the thing
Right.
is, like, I'm not
If-
averse to them doing more challenging things with these characters. I mean, like, if they said, like, shoot, like, Dr. Robotnik is not the main villain of the next one, but he's just a presence, he's around and stuff. Like, that's completely fine by me. I don't need him to take center stage as he has in the previous movies. But I think it's difficult with a general audience to justify these movies going forward without Robotnik. And I dare say, for this series anyways, people are going to find it tough to move on from Jim Carrey with this version. Like, I think if they do Sonic 3 and they can't get Jim Carrey back, probably a sign they need to just call time on that version and maybe go for something fully animated next.
I gotta ask, do you think before Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out, anybody gave a shit about the High Evolutionary?
Oh, not at all. But, like, the thing is, like...
And do you think that during that entire movie, people were just kind of asking, "Hey, where's Ronan the Accuser?" Or
Nobody
"Hey,
gave a
where's
fuck
Viggo
about the
Mortensen?"
Guardians of the Galaxy before the first movie. That is
That's
not a good comparison.
No, it's exactly my point. Is that like people also didn't really care about Sonic outside of just the face or the general populace that hadn't really played the games and everything. They don't have an attachment to the character in the way that we do.
The
make a-
general populace changed the design.
You do make an interesting point in some ways, Wayne. I don't completely disagree. But I think with Sonic, they're much more aggressively marketed towards families, and they take much more into account parents and stuff like that. I don't know quite what point I'm trying to make here, but generally, with these family films,
no,
they're...
I'm disagreeing entirely with you, Wayne. I
Who
think
cared
Sonic
about
is.
the spot? Who cared about the spot before yesterday?
This is not relevant to this at all.
That's a kids movie.
I
That's a
think one is a
villain that
superhero,
nobody
the
really
other-
Hey, let me finish my point before you guys keep jumping all over the place. Fuck's sake. I would argue that Sonic is a well enough established brand, especially in American pop culture. Like, even if you don't play the games, you know who Sonic is. Like Gilly said it earlier, we're talking about like iconic things about Sonic. You put 3 rings in a row on any landscape, most people think about Sonic. Even if it's pop culture osmosis,
Dude, my
people know
my
who
grandma
Sonic
would go,
is.
"Oh, that's Sonic."
And I would say that what people understand is Speedy Blue Hedgehog, evil robot making doctor, and they understand that dynamic. And what I want to follow up with, because you're pointing out really well written movies, do you think the scriptwriters and filmmakers have what it takes to make a compelling enough villain to pull off that dynamic even differently in these movies? Because I personally don't think they do.
I think
don't
it's more that
Gage
they're
Stone
probably
has what
not
it takes.
allowed.
I
Like-
think they could if they push themselves, but I think that the arguments you guys are making are the exact excuse they would use to not push themselves.
But that's why I'm just trying to be realistic with this. Here is like,
there's realistically they're not going to top Eggman, but I'm saying there's not a reason they shouldn't try.
That's all I'm saying though. Is I'm just
Nobody's
saying.
arguing that.
I personally feel that all I'm saying is, I think with the way these Sonic movies are right now, a lot of it hinges on Jim Carrey as it is. You would have a hard time for the audience that currently like those movies and stuff, beyond Sonic fans, justifying continuing without Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is those movies like ultimate porn star at the moment. Like, he is selling the tickets to people that aren't Sonic fans. And, like, that's the thing, is that's why I was saying, even if they still did Robotnik and recast him, I think they'd have a very difficult time justifying it going forward.
I
guess
get
that's
Samuel
another
L.
point.
Jackson as the new villain.
No, I guess that's the point too. Like what Gilly was saying in terms of like you need another strong presence, because let's take the Sonic branding aside. I still don't think the spot or the high fucking evolutionary matters, because none of them are Jim Carrey. None of them are a household name.
Another thing I wanted to point out is that those are also IPs where they do change the villain up much more consistently than Sonic does. Like, with the Guardians of the Galaxy, with anyone that has a basic understanding of the Guardians of the Galaxy, like, sometimes the audience having less of a general understanding of the IP, it leaves the door more open to creativity. Like, so people don't know what the Guardians of the Galaxy even is, so it doesn't really matter what villain you choose, you know? You can go for the high evolutionary, you can go for this, that, and the other, and Spider-Man's gonna sell regardless. Like, you've got all these different Spider people in there and stuff. That is a toy sale waiting to happen. With Sonic, there's a much more rigid understanding of what that is from the audience. Even if what that is isn't necessarily how it always is in the games, for example. Like, the fans are going to have a much deeper understanding of Sonic than a general audience. I don't doubt that. And, you know, there's probably villains that could make just as much, if not even more so, of an impression than Dr. Robotnik. I think the general audience, though, they just have... A Sonic audience is more rigid than a Marvel audience, is the point I guess I'm trying to make.
Well,
Even if it's not the fans.
I would say, yeah, again, though, if we're talking general audience, so much of their viewing experience has shifted over the past, like, couple of decades. And I would again, I got to bring up the Marvel movies because they've had a big hand in that. But general audiences are used to new villains now. They're expecting almost from time to time for, like, a different bad guy to show up.
I just don't think from Sonic, though.
I think they could if they did it.
It
I
would
don't
be
think
brave,
it would be
but,
that
like-
far-fetched for, like, general audiences. They wouldn't be confused if, like, some new bad guy came up.
It would be brave, but, like, I'm saying this as someone who adores these movies. Look at Sonic 1 and 2. What part of those movies strikes you as brave?
Knuckles.
Good answer.
Here's the thing. We still don't know if Jim Carrey is back on or not. He said he's retired, so we have to assume he's not. So I think whatever happens going forward depends entirely, not even whether or not Sonic 3 is
I'm gonna
good.
just say it. I'm gonna just say it. If he bails out on Sonic 3, he's a piece of shit.
I mean, he's,
That's fair.
Piece of shit.
I mean,
Just do it. No, just do it.
I think realistically,
Just
It's-
do it for the
guys,
No,
I
that's
think
selfish. Do it. Just
I
do
think-
it.
we already
play
know
role.
Jim Carrey's kind of an asshole.
Piece
and
of
No, but
shit.
I
actually the
think-
most
I
fun
think
person
it's
to
Was he
work
pretty
doing
with.
obvious.
painting?
I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here. It's a publicity stunt. He's retiring from acting. Oh, I'll come back if the script is right, though. Wink, wink. Oh, he's coming back for Sonic 3. That script must be fucking good. Let's go see it. There you go.
I do think it's important to kind of point out that if you go outside of the Sonic community and you look at the articles or the people talking about Jim Carrey retiring, every single person on there is like, that means his last movie is going to be Sonic 2. Like that is the flavor of that opinion. Even if they don't say it, that's everybody's opinion. It's like, oh, it's Sonic 2. Like, no matter how much the fan base loved it, it's still not like...
Yeah, but Ray Liotta's swan song was fucking Cocaine Bear, so...
I mean, to be fair, he died, Gilly. He didn't retire. He just died.
He retired from life.
I mean, as I say, I love Sonic 2, but yeah, it's no Truman Show, put it that way.
But I just, it's... I
It's a
think
bargaining
it's going to
chip.
be very telling.
I think, like Jason Jimison says here, I think it's a bargaining chip. He wants more money.
Potentially, we don't know. That is speculation. That could be the case. I think he's a big enough name. He doesn't really need to. I think he would be able to just like push back at Paramount enough to be like, nah, you want me in, pay me. He's got enough money that he can just be like, I'm done. You know, like he doesn't need to negotiate like that. He just doesn't. But like, I think it's telling, no matter how much we're arguing about whether we should continue the movie series with or without Eggman, like how little Sega has taken advantage of other villains in any of the canons. They've never made them quite as compelling, and the only other one that is as popular, they redeemed him in this first game. And then, like, if we want Metal Sonic, which is just another Sonic, who makes him? And then what's his personality?
That's
the only way they could do the Metal Sonic thing is basically pulling in a Dr. Duro from Dragon Ball, just like, he had it in a lab underground. Don't worry.
Yeah,
you know what I'm thinking?
It's just
I'm thinking.
So you're saying Cell is going to be in Sonic 3.
All right, I want to pitch
already
something.
been in one movie recently.
I want to pitch something. All right. So
Sure.
Eggman's dead, but he left behind one thing, like Last Will and Testament. It's a Metal Sonic. Have him played by the guy that voices the Spot in Into the Spider-Verse and characterized as being a little bit sassy.
Schwartzman.
Yeah, like you can use Metal Sonic because they're gonna want a zany villain, and Metal Sonic.
You want
is...
Metal Sonic voiced by Jason Schwartzman?
Yes, I do, because after Jim Carrey, the audience are going to want another zany scene-stealing villain. Metal Sonic does that in silence in the games, but only because he plays off well with Robotnik. If you're doing him without Robotnik, give him a sassy personality like what Jason Schwartzman had as the Spot. And have him, like, constantly trying to upgrade himself as well. That'd be kind of awesome.
I feel like you're literally just describing what they did with James Spader as Ultron.
Yeah, well, then do it. Then do it. Like, just make him a scene-stealing fucking robot.
The first thing people complain about with that movie is that they made the serious cold killer robot kind of goofy.
Again, Marvel, Sonic, different audiences, mate.
I still think they justified it by making Tony Stark.
I agree. I completely agree. I thought Ultron was fine.
No, man. That's not a difference. If anything, the difference is that the backlash from the Sonic community over changing his character that much would be far more severe.
Yeah, but a smaller portion. Like, it's like having, like, 10 people angry with you versus 1,000 people, you know? Like,
you exist in this fan base.
It'd be redundant, too. It'd be redundant. I mean, we got Shadow. We know Shadow's showing up. So, you know, I don't know how they pull it off. I really don't.
I hope Shadow curses.
I hope he says fuck.
Yeah, I hope he says fuck.
If he doesn't say fuck, I'm walking out.
Where's that fucking Chaos Emerald?
While they shoot children.
The thesis statement, I'm tired of Eggman. Do something cool with him or just, like, set him out for a game or two. Because
we're talking about movies, man.
I think you're expecting too much,
I don't
man.
care. The whole franchise. Do something fun. Do something to catch my attention and not just, you know, put it back on loop again.
You like
Read
Sage?
the old comics. Read the old comics.
I have been reading the comics. You know this, sir.
Archie, go read his run on Archie. Iron Dominion. That was the whole thing. It was cool.
Who's got time for that?
I do. It's my job.
The franchise as it stands now.
I don't disagree with that point, Wayne. Like I was saying,
Nick, it doesn't count. You get paid.
Our rosters. Yeah. Thanks.
If you guys want to know more Archie Sonic Nick has videos on.
I
Oh, wait,
don't.
there it is.
I don't care about Aubrey Plaza.
You know what? I want not here, sir. Just put the quote from Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm gonna be like, this will be like taking fucking candy from a baby, which is fucking fine by me.
By me.
Somebody said it earlier, but like they had a great chance to really set up Gun, and they're kind
of lame.
They're gonna be eating at Olive Garden. I don't care.
They're gonna be eating it all.
I gotta go.
Farewell, Gilly.
I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go. Okay.
Yes.
Farewell, Gil.
Oh,
Goodbye, my friend.
oh man, I can't believe Sega acknowledged Scourge and the FF. I'm going to. Man, my Freedom Fighter video is going to piss off everybody. I guess I pissed off everyone on Twitter the other day. Good.
No one agrees with you, Nick.
If that's what it takes to be pissed off, they just
Actually knows what that word is because it's not clickbait. If that's the point of the video, when it's like, is she the new Sally? Let's talk about it.
You made a compelling argument for like why you brought that point of conversation up.
Yeah, because the comic writers are doing it.
Yeah.
They're the ones doing it. You're mad that they're compared to old characters? Then just tell the comic creators to stop doing it.
And it's like you literally said is, hey, this dynamic has people have made comparisons with other dynamics with other IDW characters, but this is the closest that parallel has been.
Well, no, there's one more that is, and nobody has a problem with it. Scourge and Surge. Nobody has a problem with it because everyone knows what they're doing.
Sorry, I meant like specifically if we're talking like with Sally.
Sure. Yeah, but like they've been redoing this over and over and over again. And Blaze Hedgehog made a tweet like, "Hey, have you guys noticed that ever since they got rid of the Freedom Fighters, literally in 2017, they keep reusing this fucking setting over and over and over again? Sonic Forces, IDW, Prime. It's the exact same scenario as Sonic's at AM. So they're the ones forcing that conversation. Yeah.
Forcing that.
Yeah.
I got more in me.
That's fine. No, I'm putting a whole video together because like fuck off, guys.
Unfortunately, for
I
you,
thought
Nick.
it was a well constructed video, Sarah.
Thank you.
It was I was also the one moment from that comic I was most excited to hear your reaction to. I was not disappointed.
The hammer.
The hammer.
I figured. No, but like it was kind of an experiment too, because what happened on Twitter was exactly what I expected to happen.
Yeah.
Where I got ratioed in my own video promotion. So like I had like 400 likes or whatever, and then like somebody retweeted, one of my followers, by the way, retweeted and got like 500,
Traitor.
600 something. Like, why does everyone be compared to Sally? And then like I looked at the comments and I just sat back and kind of watched a little bit. I responded to a couple of them, and I thank everybody who was just like, just watch his video. But like there's a bunch of other people that are like, he's an Archie hater, he's an IDW hater. They don't compare to Sally. Let Sally die.
Hi again, Gilly.
It was fascinating. It was fascinating to watch like all sides of it. Because I said in the video, like there's two arguments you hear. There's no need for them because there's other characters who are like them, and also they're nothing like the Freedom Fighters. And
Nick,
both of those conversations were happening. It was wild.
Whenever you make these videos, I get like 15 minutes through them and I'm like, I'm tired, and then I stop watching.
That's you, bud.
It's just there's too much going on. I'm like,
are you talking about like the plot? Or are you talking like the summary?
Any of your like videos that have to do with the comics, I'll try to watch them and then I'll just find myself exhausted. And I'm
So we got a little glitch in that we got an invisible Gilly here on the set now, but it is what it is.
No, I have a friend.
He's the disappointed
in Iowa.
Sonic on the show.
Yeah. No, I have a friend in Iowa who's been trying to be very supportive of my stuff. He's like, yeah, but your comic videos, dude, I can't.
Yeah, see, those are perfect background noise for me when I'm like playing games and stuff. I love listening to you recap shit. I don't know.
I appreciate it, but they're not my favorite videos to make either. I like doing the character videos or like game analysis.
I don't enjoy watching them because I don't watch them because I edit them, and I enjoy that.
I had more fun putting together the script for for Shard than I did for.
I really like the
Land
Shard one. That tapped into a lot of curiosities for me.
I
That's-
really
and
like that I
that-
can call him Shark.
Yeah.
I already made that joke last week, and I said he must like chili dogs too. Haha. You're not original.
I
Shut
am-
the fuck up.
I am going to be working with a certain YouTuber about certain Sonic cartoons later this year, though. And I'm very excited for that too.
Watchman.
Watch.
I got a dog pulling.
Someone said Watchman.
Should we move on to super chats? I got a
Yeah,
dog
let's just get
pulling
the
on my
fucking
arm.
super chats out of the way.
Let's go and do that.
Nothing will cheer me
Oh,
up like money.
God.
Cricket, stop. You literally, this is bad behavior. You do not pull on clothes.
Dumb dog.
To begin
Anyway,
with,
you wanna-
we have Erwin Guerra, who sends $5. Morning, y'all. On IMDb, it says a guy called Tyler Antonius is playing Shadow. So is his VA confirmed now? I'm not sure about that. IMDb is pretty editable. And it's
I
not
would
been
say
in any
no.
news, so I wouldn't know.
Usually they kind of announce that kind of stuff when they can. So no, I doubt it is.
That would make
And
sense.
I think they're going to get a celebrity.
Is who is Tyler Antonius?
I feel like
celebrity?
if you're not just gonna do like the voice actor from like the current like games and stuff, you're probably just gonna do easily recognizable
Yeah.
like celebrity.
Yeah. So okay. Do we know what he's done? we have that looked up?
He's got a Spotify account with 7
Oh,
monthly
sorry,
listeners.
that's classified information.
No, don't laugh. We've got to start somewhere. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he has. I think he's. Oh, he's got 2 million followers on his Instagram.
Well,
He's an actor, rapper, singer-songwriter, known for. I mean, he was in Sing, but he's uncredited. So it seems like he's not a big, well-known kind of guy, even if he's an up-and-comer. So I don't know.
That would be like just a nail in an early coffin. Just like I was in Sing unaccredited.
I
God.
mean, Sing was a big success.
Sing as a movie was like if you had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but you took out all of like the cinnamon flavoring, no milk or anything, and then you just like crushed it down, and then you had to eat it with a spoon.
It's an illumination film, is what you just
Yeah.
described there as an illumination film.
Yeah, that's pretty much
And
it.
soon they're going to hold the crown for highest grossing animated film of all time. So good job, guys. Go watch Across the Spider-Verse in the biggest screen you can, all right? We need to
Yeah.
win this.
Yeah.
It was like an actually memorable movie.
This wouldn't just be a win for Spider-Man, it'd be a win for animation in general. Anyway,
We were already getting the conversation, so every movie's getting compared to Spider-Verse. Yeah, it takes a while for movies to get made.
usually those complaints.
Yeah, that's because it's pushing the envelope of what to expect from an animated film.
Yeah, usually the
Ninja
complaint of
Turtles
like
looks great.
usually the
It's-
people
it's
saying
amazing.
Usually the people saying, oh, please don't compare the two, are the fans of what's considered to be the lesser product. It's funny how a lot of people will say, like, oh, please don't compare Sonic to Spark, even though the Spark fans are all like, nah, it's cool. And then the Spark devs are all like, nah, it's cool, you can compare us to Sonic. The only people saying that are the Sonic fans.
Yeah, the Sonic fans starve for quality games.
You
most
don't
of the
want to
time.
compare because you think you'll lose. I don't think you'll lose. I think they're both great. But, like, if you're saying don't compare, it shows a lack of confidence. Compare. Go for it. Anyways. Burger. Nick.
Sonic Man 1661 $5. Thank you. Happy Pride Month, y'all. You're all valid and loved. I'm a straight white man, so I've been valid for a long time. I'm good.
I'm a victim this month because I'm a straight white man.
No, just like I
no.
don't.
It's
I-
don't you
I
know
don't
during
need
this
no-
month? It's
I don't need no
illegal to be straight.
celebrations.
I did the thing.
Okay. I'm gonna go fuck a car. That's a thing that's happened before, right?
What?
I think there was a
I
guy
remember that was a
was...
thing that's happened before. Yeah, a guy who married his car.
Yeah,
or-
there was a
I
guy that was
remember-
arrested for fucking a car. Oh, won't someone please
Jesus
think of the
Christ.
poor car?
What do I think the car was gonna get? A diseased exhaust?
Oh, won't someone think of the automobile? Oh, my exhaust pipe hurts.
Well, somebody think of the porked car.
Anyways, thank you, Sonic Fan
the
1661.
parking lot.
Burger. Wait, Gilly? I think it's Gilly.
Here's Gilly.
Where am I up to?
The burger, where the burger is.
Oh. Well, oh. Our Paul Jamal
Yeah,
Mhm.
with $5. Happy B Theory weekend, guys. Congratulations on 5.5K subscribers. Milk Bro forever. Winky face. Thumbs up.
Thanks, Jamal. We
What-
appreciate it.
Thank
dude.
you.
Why do you always voice those off like you're opening bills?
That's
That's exactly what it is.
It's just a bill for someone else, you know. Like
You're opening a check.
every check is a bill for someone else, Wayne.
Yeah, that's what I think every time I think of my paychecks. Well.
Also,
that
it
costs
certainly
somebody
won't
else
be a
money.
happy B Theory weekend now. It's ruined.
I know what to get Pup for his birthday now. Gilly's disappointment.
No, get me a metal Sonic action figure, and if it's a classic one, I'll burn it.
So I didn't stutter. Sonic Fan 1661, thank you for the $2. You didn't have to murder Watness like that, Cirrus.
It was when you said he had poor self-image issues.
I know. I know what I said.
Good.
I'm glad you knew because I forgot what that was in reference to.
And now you have to sit with the
And
pain
that's
again.
called repressed trauma.
All you can do is fuck the pain away.
Ugh. Okay, we got Go Kenji with Franks, right?
Yes. Yeah, there you go. You got
As tweens, a group of mine formed an X-Men knockoff, the Group Z. Very good.
it. Actually, cool if it was called like Group ZXD. That kind of sounds
want it.
right, you know.
I kind of want to know more about Group Z.
I'm surprised not more people got up in arms at my Zoomer joke in the video, but goes to show how many people clicked on just to complain about the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Oh, right, okay. Shadow Nexa sends 7 Aussie dollars 99. Hope it's going well. I've moved to night shift fully because the cost of living in Australia sucks, but the main bonus is I can catch you guys live. Oh, you know, like, what's the word? Silver linings. Silver linings is what that is. Thank
I
you
worked
so
for
much,
years
Shadow
at a
Nexa.
night shift job at a hotel. It's pretty cool if you can get the hang of the sleep schedule. I never completely did, but
I work the
it's
night
pretty
shift
chill.
when Nick doesn't tell me he needs to submit the video the next day.
I told you a week before, man. Oh my god. Crimson Rose, thank you for the video, by the way. You did an excellent job editing.
Thank you.
Crimson Rose with $100. Thank you so much for that generous donation. Hey guys, it's been a bit. My GF was working with me in Austin on the trains, so I missed episode 100. I'm very interested in your job now, Crimson Rose. Thus, here's a gift for making it past 100 episodes. After work today, I'm thinking about buying a Sega CD. Any recommendations for games on that system? Most of them are way too goddamn much money, bud.
Sonic
I don't know.
CD might be.
Pop
But
full
also-
mail.
Thank you for the generosity.
Make sure
Also,
that
Nick
says your parents
GF. It's some of the young people do. It's like an abbreviation. It stands for girlfriend.
Oh my god.
I like that you like to pretend you're still a young person there, pup.
I am, all right. Okay, I'm the youngest at this table. It still matters.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I tell myself comforting.
See
lies.
how he tried to hit a nerve and I just hit one on him? Much easier. See how that works?
Nobody
It's because you're Nick. It's because you're old enough to know where the nerves hurt.
Yeah.
At least all of them do. Anyways. Gil butt.
Every time
Sounds
he's
so
just so sad about getting
unenthusiastic.
paid.
You know, I can take your share if you want.
Sonic Fan 1661 with $5. Anyone still talk about Alex Kidd? No, because his games were bad. Not too familiar with the franchise, but one of those plug and play Genesis has it. Genesis?
Genocide?
That says
Genocide?
Genesis.
Did you just straight up say genocide? Is that the
Yeah,
plural?
genocide.
It was
Genocide.
fun from what I remember. It's not fun. They're not great games.
Just
They're
like
not
the
fun.
Geneva Conventions.
Can't wait to violate them.
They're not fun. I don't like them anyway.
I remember trying Alex Kidd once when I was younger, and I think it was on a plug and play system, and just thinking, well, this is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But that... Yeah, I've never played an Alex Kidd game. I can't offer any recommendation.
I have not either. and
Yeah,
I'm
you guys
just-
could. You're good. You're good. You're not missing anything.
I should bury Alexander Child.
Oh my god. Alexandria children.
The next one we have is also from Go Kenji. Thank you for the 2 francs. Still waiting for Burning Rangers 2.
So proud of you guys that you're saying Franks now.
We're gonna forget it by the next episode. Don't be too proud.
Didn't forget it
Nobody
here, so-
talks about Sega Saturn era Sonic Team and just how fucking good they were. They're just like, oh, Sonic wasn't there. Ridiculous. Made good games. Burning Rangers is good. Anyway,
I
who's
think it's
gonna-
me. With Crimson Rose. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. There's no.
Yes.
Yeah. Burger.
Where's
Just
the
read the
burger? Oh,
fucking super chat.
Wake the
Okay.
fuck up,
Crimson
Pop. No,
Rose.
burger. Yeah, burger.
Crimson Rose with $5. In the Sonic OVA,
Burger.
how was there a crash? I fucking hate you.
Burger.
In the Sonic OVA, how was there a crashed train on the island Tails and Sonic live on? Was it the train to Sunset City?
I thought
yeah,
it was a plane.
As off the fucking rails as we get, I would not be surprised if it landed there. No.
we found a way.
So we gave Sonic a home. You're
It def-
welcome.
Finds a way.
That is, you know what? That's his coolest home they've ever established.
All
in
right.
my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, they just have to wash the smell of sweat and fear out. Anyways. Burger. Sonic fan 1661 sends $2. How strong are social services in Sonic's world? Well, the amount of, like, kid characters like Tails that don't have any parents in the fray. I can't imagine they're too good.
Yeah, we're not even sure how old they are anymore.
I mean, yeah,
Not
it's,
great.
the ages at this point are just teenage, kid, teenage.
Yeah.
It's like Kid Nation.
No, I don't want to remember that.
Oh my god.
I don't want to
Oh my
remember
God.
that.
Is that like a CD or something?
No.
No.
Should
No,
I-
Kid Nation was better when it was Lord of the Flies, Gilly.
Joe Madre with $5. Kings canonically have the function they
How
do
did
in
you?
the
Sorry, how did you
gameplay-
fuck that up? Read it again. Burger.
What do you mean? Rings
You
canonically
said
have
kings
the function?
canonically.
Oh, did I?
You
Yeah.
did say Kings.
I was just thinking to myself. Rings canonically have the function they do in the gameplay would be like making the life system canon.
No, it wouldn't. The lives are on the HUD.
The HUD's canon.
I mean,
though.
making
That
the
said,
you get a
technically
one up
the
if you
line-
collect 100.
Yeah,
get
you
a
know what they
one-up
should
if
do?
you
They should
collect
make it.
100
They should make it
coins.
canon that it doesn't fucking time out.
What-
Just
yeah.
not fucking-
Embrace the video gameism. Have him just look in the sky and
Uh,
see a big timer.
I like that in
Yeah.
the Donkey Kong Country series, it's canon that they used to time out.
Wait, are the monitors canon?
I think they
Yeah,
should be.
actually.
If the
I mean-
monitors are canon but the rings aren't, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, they actually IDW recently just
They
utilized
do.
the item capsules.
They
the
do
item
have the
capsule
item
was used to
capsules.
hold. Yeah, like actually, yeah. No, he ain't kidding.
That's ridiculous.
And the
The
Wispons.
stupid airboards, the Wispins.
The
All of
Wisp. The Wisp says gameplay mechanic or canon. Rings or not. Welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Dr.
God.
Robotnik was just a fucking gameplay mechanic the entire time.
What
Now,
drives me fucking crazy is how many fans just immediately gobble up whatever the fuck Sega does, and they're fine with it. Like rings, oh, they don't have to be a part of the story because Sega says so.
Complacent.
You're insane.
now, Mr. Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car over here has forgotten to add the name to this super chat.
I put it at the bottom.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, because I
Sure.
forgot to put it on there, so I put it on there. It's
Oh,
Crimson
it's
Rose
not
with
just
my color.
Crimson Rose being yogurt. Okay, fine. Okay. Who's up then?
I mean, Gilly.
Gilly.
Okay, so you got to read it kind of in reverse: Crimson Rose, and then the
Okay.
message above it.
Thank God Frontiers didn't release at the same time as Tears of the Kingdom Crimson Rose $5.
Yeah, that was very intentional.
Yep. That would have been real awkward for
Yeah,
them.
because otherwise Tears of the Kingdom would have made no sales. It would have just fucking flopped.
Yep, damn right.
You know what's funny is that I do have to say about that tweet how when Sonic Frontiers first was being shown off and first came out, it was like, it just looks like Breath of the Wild. It's just they're just ripping off Breath of the Wild. And now I made that tweet and they're like, it doesn't look anything like Tears of the Kingdom.
To be fair, we
You're
did
into-
get a
this is
lot
a
of
bad.
back.
This is a bad take. This doesn't look anything like Zelda.
Wait, we got a lot of backlash when we saw like Frontiers for the first time. We were like, oh wow, they just completely reused that one shot from Breath of the Wild, and everyone was like, I just fucking Zelda didn't invent grass.
Actually, Sonic Frontiers wasn't the first game to have trees.
I like how they make comparisons when it's convenient, whenever it supports whatever bullshit they have in their head.
Yeah,
my
that happens a
favorite
lot
thing.
here.
Instead of intentional marketing.
Consistency's an oppressive regime.
I will say though, I do appreciate that I could just be done with Frontiers because I do think Tears is a fun time.
Frontiers of the Kingdom.
Tears is
Done
just,
with
it's just
Frontiers. You
taken.
haven't even fucking reviewed it yet.
I went from start to finish and I could put the game down, and I feel like Tears is never gonna fucking end.
Yeah, it's gonna end for me whenever I beat Ganon.
I forced myself to finish the game because I honestly want to keep playing, but I would never get anything done.
I don't understand. I don't understand how people are like, I've been playing Breath of the Wild for 9 years and I have logged 1,000 hours. And I'm like, what do you mean? What are you doing? You beat Ganon. You don't need more hearts. You don't need no more shit. You beat the game.
I can at least say where I'm just like, anything else that's left to go do is literally only because I really enjoy the gameplay and I would legitimately just want to go back in and do more. I finished the game. I beat Ganondorf. The finale of that game is incredible, and it completely addresses my complaints with the finale for the first one.
It's like, imagine graduating high school and then afterwards going back and completing assignments and homework that you may have missed.
Yeah, I didn't.
I've had nightmares about that, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Nightmares. That's the kind of thing you do, Cirrus.
I still have nightmares about being late for class.
Actually, this whole city is built on mathematics.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, guys, how good was that pizza though?
It was really good.
Mrs. Crabapple, that fucking pizza was built on mathematics.
All right, before we turn into a Zelda cast again.
Oh yeah,
And not be dealing with any more of them. If I don't speak,
All right.
my brain gets a sodium headache.
have you ever played Breath of the Wild, Pup?
Yeah, I have. Some of it. I haven't completed it. I got stuck.
Sonic Fan 1661. Thank you so much for the $2. I do so love these derailments. I'm glad you enjoy the derailments. We
Yeah,
You must be a fan
we
of
enjoy
Sonic
them too,
Hero.
right, guys? We're
we
we're
do
all in
them.
on it.
we do
So just a
them.
bit. We're just playing around.
I don't know about you guys. I've had a great time today. This has been chaos.
Yeah, it was such a fun time.
Chaos.
God, I have to kill chaos.
Well, at least I won the public vote. Anyways.
Dude, Final Fantasy fans didn't play that game. You think Sonic fans did?
Is that game even out yet?
Oh yeah, dude, that game's been out for like
been
almost,
out for a
like
long
a year
time.
and a half.
I meant to get it, but I
Wow.
never did.
I've heard it's great.
Yeah,
Wait,
from what
I
I
I
heard,
heard
it was good.
I heard it's good if you know what you're getting into.
It's
If you know what to
stupid,
expect.
but it's like it knows it is and it has fun with it. I still
I
need to play it
blanked
myself.
out. What are we talking
but,
about?
Final Fantasy 16.
Oh.
No,
No,
not
no,
16.
no,
No,
Oh, no.
no, Stranger in
Strangers in-
Paradise.
Strangers
Oh,
in-
okay.
You guys
I was
don't
gonna
even know
make
the
that as
fuck.
a joke, but that's legitimately the name.
I mean, it's the same like battle system as like it functions just like the other like Final Fantasy VII remake and shit.
Who's up with the
I would-
next super chat?
You Wayne.
Oh.
Parker?
Me. Crimson Rose with $2. The train to Sunset City has derailed.
Yeah, we were just having
Let's
a
just
good
be
time,
honest.
right?
The rails have never truly existed.
They
The train's
they
just
function as
going-
well as rail
Look
candy.
up, Cirrus.
Do we still use that little jingle?
What
The little
jingle?
the train headed for Sunset City. Do we
Nah,
still
we
do that?
don't use that anymore.
Oh, okay.
It had
forgot we
its
had it.
use. It had its time.
Oh.
It's not off the rails. The rails are just in the sky.
Maybe we're just not a train anymore. Maybe we're just a fucking trash can now from the intro.
You know what? You know what's had its
Actually-
use and it's had
actually,
its
Sonic
time?
had
The fucking
Skyrail
King
before
of the
Breath of the
Hill
Wild.
opening.
Okay, we'll make a new one then.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Pup's the one putting that shit together, man.
I'm literally doing fucking everything. I put the patron mailbag out there. You guys disrespecting me, but I'm the fucking one carrying this shit. Anyways, Burger, this time it's my turn. Go Kenji sends 2 francs. You have to do the overtime. That's a reference. I like that. I appreciate that.
The what?
No, basically, on some of my own live streams, we'll sometimes bully Tom Topics by just repeating, "You need to do the overtime" to him, just on repeat.
So this is the thanks I get for working overtime.
Channel Pup as Eeyore confirmed.
Worker.
The Fallen Redditor. Those aren't francs. Which ones are those?
Those are euros.
Euros?
€2. Thank you. Gilly Rage quit. Pup wins by default. GG.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, I won the public vote.
It doesn't matter. So did Hillary.
Well, you're fine with the Electoral College until the guy you like loses. I get it.
So Gilly, you're
Oh
done.
my
You're up
God.
next. Your two are done.
Well,
Go
Gilly, we
Kenji
have
with-
to stop. The Waku Waku Sonic Patrol car has said so.
Like the wacko wacko.
Hey.
Gil, you're up.
Go, Kenji, with certified hot fucks, 5 of them. So do Nick now beep beep for the sheep, or is he still? Hold on. I have a. Ow. I'm lightheaded. All right.
Hey, corny.
I gotta go.
Oh, I was gonna say a chorny.
How many times are you gonna have to go, Gilly? You
A
should've
lot.
gone-
A
You
should've
barely
gone-
even
oh,
came.
lot.
Wait, no,
I'm-
let me
You
rephrase
should have
that.
gone it.
Look, Kenji, like I was trying to
Pup
say in the
needs
video.
more.
Like I was trying to say in the video,
Reading a little
You
too hard
know.
into it, mate. I think he's just making a fucking pun.
maybe let me finish my sentence, you bitch. Why not both at once?
You couldn't
Mhm.
handle him. Anyways, Porker.
Whose turn is it?
It
I-
would be Cirrus.
Mm.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Okay, sure. Let's go to the next one. Sonic fan 1661. Who's ready to see a little girl get domed?
I am. I'm so fucking ready. I can't fucking wait.
I am. It's gonna be a good film.
It will be film of the year if they go through with
Man,
Go through it like that bullet will go through her head, right?
it. You know what would be wonderful is like the fact that we probably won't all be at the cinema together. So in each cinema there will just be one guy hooting his fucking just hooting with laughter, and it will be one of us in each theater.
So is it gonna be the laugh heard
She's
around the
gonna-
world?
She's gonna get shot, and I'm gonna go.
A guy.
I'm going to say this whenever it comes out. Like, we have time. We should probably figure something out, because if not all of us together, we do need to do some kind of a fan meetup, because I want a theater full of people cheering if that happens.
I ain't fucking going out to America again.
Good.
Our friendship's over now. God,
Cinema.
Joe's done.
Alright.
All right. Anyways,
Hey, Shadow, have you ever thought that maybe Maria's head just kind of did that? Like maybe she just sneezed a little too hard?
all right.
These sounded like
Porker.
gunfire.
Nami the Neko with $2. Meow. Thank you for the $2.
You can't pay me to say that.
You're not a cat.
I mean, they literally just did pay me to say
They
that,
paid you
so-
to say that.
Yeah.
Actually, they paid us for you to say that.
I've got
What's
no
your
shame. I know who I am.
Yeah, you'll only be getting like a fifth of that $1, $2. So,
Oh.
All right.
anyways,
What?
Black Yakuzu 94 sends $5. Mercial Mephilis is the carnage to Shadow's venom. Wait, hang on. Mercial Mephiles is
that
the
his first name?
carnage to Shadow's venom.
I think they're
Memphis,
just being
Tennessee.
cute.
I don't get it, Black Yakuzu 94. Please elaborate in another super chat.
They're
Yeah,
just
we
saying
need more money
Netflix-
for you to.
They're just, you know, they're saying Netflix is the carnage.
We need
I get it.
context money.
No, we need more money. I'm afraid. Even if you don't type anything, we'll just understand it a lot better if you save more money. have fun here, but we actually burger.
Sonic fan 1661 with $5. Nick, Sonic forces a copy of the game down What Nate's
What name?
throat.
What name? Fucking what name?
This is why I have like
What name?
This is why
What
you have
name?
self-image issues.
yeah.
No, it isn't.
What
That's why you
name?
have name
What
issues.
name?
Where you
I
have...
heard MILF images.
What's in a name?
What is a
Oh,
name?
God.
What a miserable pile of names.
burger.
All right.
I hate this place.
We all do. Right? Let's keep going.
Burger.
Gilly.
Not here, sir, with $4.99. Sonic fans watching a video before judging challenge. Difficulty level, impossible. Amazing discussion on that video, Nick.
Thank you, not here, sir. I appreciate it.
Yuck.
Yuck.
Yuck. Yuck. Yuck.
Burger.
Top 10 yucks in gaming.
All right, sir.
Okay, let's see. Why does it? Okay, so the next one is from Crimson Rose. Thank you for the $5. Pup FBs. I just got stung by one earlier.
Respect bees because you got
That's
stung by
just-
one. Well, that's unconventional,
That's just
but I'll allow it.
proof they're canon.
All right.
Burger. What name?
is
It's your
it-
turn.
Oh, what? I was Jim H with $4.99. Hey, gamer men, anyone up for gamer chai? Couldn't be here for the whole show.
Is that a G Fuel flavor?
Sure. But I hope you all have a great day and don't have your uncle killed.
Oh man, I love chai tea.
What a great movie.
If you get it, you
What
get
a
it.
great movie. What a great movie.
Great ass.
Pops,
Yeah,
your turn.
it's a great movie.
Yeah, Gilly agrees.
It's great. It's a great movie. Best
Really
movie of
seen
all
it.
time. Yeah. I've seen it like 8 times.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
dedication.
Watching it right now.
Go Kenji. Sends
He made it.
Go Kenji sends 2 francs. Who at once? Nice. And the francs?
That's what she said.
Talking about the sheep and the chipmunk, man.
Burger.
What was that noise? Was that, dude? Was that like SpongeBob just getting
It's
like grabbed?
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Nick, you're up.
All right. And just making sure. Okay, sorry. I was putting one more. No, we got one more. I'm putting in right about now. But Go Kenji threw us another couple francs. Thank you. Fluffy and proud. All right.
Did you guys see that one video on Twitter that somebody like made a giant like rock vehicle in Tears of the Kingdom, and the caption was, "The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles."
Yeah.
Wow, I completely massacred the spelling of friends there completely by accident.
It's because you don't have any.
All right. Sonic. All right.
Rich.
Gilly.
Billy. Oh,
Sonic
right,
fan
no, sorry.
1661.
Wait.
Ah!
Wait. No, I understand. I get it. I get it.
Burger.
Yeah, no, heard. You know what?
Burger.
Because I made you wait. Hello, I'm
Burger.
Bob. I'm going to cook you up a
Bob.
nice HD burger
Bob
and a
Burger.
nice not so HD burger. And you
How
know
does
what?
his voice
Just
keep
because
getting
you've been
deeper?
such a good boy, I'm gonna cook you up some
Bob.
fries as well.
Why?
Linda.
Burger.
Hey Nick,
Len!
Nick,
Len!
can you come
So-
visit and just
Len.
like grab like
No.
Jane.
a crowbar?
Jane, stop.
Yes,
Just like
done
hit
visiting.
me in the
Jane,
back
be
of the
quiet.
head as hard as you
Jane,
can.
Louise.
I'm just gonna see the Mothman statue. I'm just ignoring you.
Sonic
Sonic
fan
fan 1661, $2. What's it like having many names? Walt Nainalis.
We're either getting closer to naming one of your weird ass East Coast burger joints or a slur. That's what's happening here.
Slurus.
We're gonna use the longest version of the Wayne name will be the thing that goes between "Come on, man" and "Look both ways."
I feel like a
You are
lot
not
of
the
these have been
Gilly. You
slurs
are not the
against
first
me.
one for that one. You won't be the last.
Slurus septic.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today
Oh no.
on Sunset City. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're gonna call. Hang on, one
no,
more
we're
from
not.
Crimson Rose. Thank you so much. Holy cow, that's a big one.
Oh
There's
Jesus.
also one
Rose
right
with
before that
$50.
as well.
Holy
Yes,
cow,
we're,
thank
we're
you.
here.
All right, Cirrus, go for it.
Okay, we'll do the one before it first. This is from Jam H. Maria
Oh,
gets
yeah,
shot. Normal reactions, shocked. Sunset City, this is delicious.
You're kidding.
Hell yeah.
Just as the
We gotta get actual proper shirts that we can safely wear in public
Let's
without.
say cap that kid on it and have
We
a
have to-
gun.
We have to figure something out. Even if we just have Maria with like a baseball cap on with like a bullseye
Yup.
target
What if
on it.
what if we just have like memorial shirts or something?
Maria Robotnik.
We'll figure it out. We'll
In
figure it out.
loving
All right,
memory of
Wayne.
Maria.
Wayne, you want to read Crimson
Maria.
Rose's
I could-
generous?
I can do that.
$50?
Crimson Rose with $50. Thank you so much. 2 really big donations today. This isn't Sonic related, but I recently started watching Mobile Suit Gundam from 1979, and then I accidentally skipped Zeta and watched Cars Counter Attack, and fucking hated it. Anyway, do you all know any good series for Gundam besides the original? I actually have not watched any Gundam, but I'm thinking
Iron-Blooded Orphans.
everyone says Iron-Blooded Orphans, and yeah, I might try to watch G-Witch myself.
Sir, sounds like you've actually watched them. What would you recommend?
So there's definitely Iron-Blooded Orphans, which is really good. There's, I believe it's Gundam Wing that has Hero in it, and Wing is actually really good, though it's very late 80s, early 90s, so there's a little bit of camp to get through, but it's still, if you watch the original, you can manage it. You'll be fine. G Gundam's also really good. Avoid SD Gundam like the plague.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, I think that should call it for the day. We're going to cut off our super chats. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us at Sunset City. Once again, we do this every Friday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. East Coast. Boys, I'm curious to know what you're up to. Pup, you've been on a fucking roll lately.
Well, I've just completed the first wave of Spider-Man retrospective videos. It's something that's it is gonna kind of have continuations as we do like the series and shows and stuff. But before any of that, we got a review Across the Spider-Verse. But first things first, I need all of you to watch it first. Anyone that's interested in seeing that, watch the movie first. I'm not going to be doing no pussy spoiler-free review or any shit like that, because don't fucking listen to a guy talk about it. Just see the goddamn film. We need to get this thing to the fucking top, to the absolute tippity top, alright? This movie is go see it. Go fucking see it, alright? But I'll be doing other cool stuff too as well. So, like, yeah, that's just how... But that's what I'm working on right now.
Cool. Gilly.
South Park.
Really excited for that video. Really, really excited for that video. It's the kind of shit I watch YouTube for. Cirrus.
As of right now, I don't really have any major projects that I'm working on, though I do. Well, actually, I lied. Hold on. There is one thing. Over on my Twitch, I'm actually starting a lot more Magic the Gathering content, which recently started this last Monday with a collaboration between me, Digimanda, and Miss Fushi, playing Commander. So I'm going to be doing more of that over on Twitch.
Wayne.
Man, at this point, you could probably tell me because I'm in denial.
Digimon World 2.
Yup.
We're forcing him to get it done. Stop dilly-dallying. Just get it done.
I don't like this game.
I don't care. Get it done.
You can review
I
things you
don't.
don't like. If anything, it makes it easier. That's how Nostalgia
lost-
Critic made his
I
entire career.
lost all of my notes, and that's like stuff covering like 20 plus hours worth of footage that's just gone.
As pristine as your living space is, that was actually very concerning to hear.
I don't know what happened to it, and it's very frustrating.
I
and
burgled
that
you.
really hurt my motivation. Like as soon as I was trying to get back into recording footage for it.
Dude, channel that. Dude, if you channel that frustration into the video, make a little joke bit about how you lost your notepad and stuff, that's gonna be a good-ass video.
That frustration channeling is gonna last a day, and it's probably gonna take like another month for this video to come out at least.
Well, better get on with it then.
Channel that pup.
As for me, 2 days ago we put out 2 videos in the same day. Certainly wasn't because I had sponsorship obligations. Certainly not. But yeah, if you want to go check those out, I would greatly appreciate it, and do more than just sit through the thumbnail, like for the lanolin thing. If you care about that stuff. Otherwise, we did a video about Shard. If you want to watch something that's well edited, thanks to my good friend Channel Pup here, then watch the Shard one at the very least, because that is a character I definitely do give a big damn about, and I'm glad to see. I saw a lot of Shard emotes, not emotes, but like icons on Twitter of just people so excited to see somebody talking about that character. Nobody does. Like, nobody's done proper videos on him. So yeah, let's talk about fun Sonic characters. Outside of that, for us here, this might have to be more behind the scenes when we talk about it, but I think when we're all up to speed, I think a spoiler cast for Spider-Verse would be nice.
Yeah,
Right?
That'd be fun.
I want to talk
How it
about
is.
it.
Maybe that's a Patreon exclusive thing for a bit or something. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I don't want to
But
I don't like Spider.
outside of that, though, I'm going to be very soon talking, like about half hour, talking to the folks behind the Minecraft skins. So expect videos about that very soon, and expect some plays from us with that stuff here, because I got a lot of exciting stuff happening on this channel and all of our channels. So go check us out. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I'm going to bed. I'm tired.